Live number 2. Thank you for joining me. Please check out the live from earlier pertaining to the Tennessee Jewish couple battling with the state Methodist group home, children's home in Greenville, Tennessee, for their right to adopt child. Also, the content relayed was about Sebastian Rogers and P. Diddy. I had a different title up for this video. What I find off about Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis. And then, of course, hell opened up. Katie and Chris watching the show. You're entitled to believe whatever you want about this story. And I say this just as I said before when I covered the Summer Wells case on my channel. You're entitled to believe whatever you want about the people. You're entitled to believe whoever you think is involved, not involved, enablers, hustlers, grifters, grinders, relatives. Everybody has a role. That's the thing about a story. Everybody has a role to play. Have you noticed that? Some are playing a role, literally. Kind of like watching a TV show. You're just sitting around waiting to see how everything's going to pan out. Hello, Solo. Thank you for joining. What I find odd about Seth, listening to AB's channel tonight, he made some great points on there, as usual. My good old Canadian friend, he's been giving the business lately. What's the problem, Seth Rogers, with you and these people? It's just you just agitated at the fact your child is missing and you have no control over the situation. So you are losing control. You're spiraling out of control. Your tongue is sharp. My GD son, as you just said on a live stream, we're going to play that here in a minute. What's the problem, honey? Because, see, you're starting to look similar to your nemesis, Christopher Proudfoot, and that ain't good. As I said, I want to give you a little slack because your child is missing. I don't know what it's like to have a missing child, so I can't say what I would be doing and not doing, I guess. Would I be cussing people out? I don't know, maybe. I have the temperament, of course. Most people who know me know I easily agitate. That's just queen, you know. I see things I don't like, don't care for. I don't want to be around it, don't want to hear nothing about it. That's just me. I don't really like indulging in nonsense. Some people enjoy it. I don't. Now, can I foolishly be around nonsense but don't like it? Of course, of course. Some things you just don't have any control over. Some things we willingly put ourselves in the midst of junk drama. But I really don't like drama. I don't like drama. I don't like problems. I don't like people messing in my business. So I'm trying to understand what's going on with you and this debacle with your son. Because what is bothersome to me is the obvious. You didn't seem to be in tune to what was going on with your child, and that's a problem for some people. Because, see, a lot of people want to just push stuff under the rug and pretend that what you're seeing unfold on YouTube and Facebook is just, you know, theatrics. Well, it's that. There's no doubt. It's that. But there's way more to it. That's why it's playing out on YouTube and Facebook. Because, you see, you always have to remember about being the messenger. You have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you repeat. And you have to be careful what you endorse. And that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand about being in the fold of things. You have to own your part. So just like you told that PI, or you told the world on the Pascal show, she had a role to play. She needed to do her part. Well, you also have to do your part. And that's where this is a problem for some. You didn't do your part because you don't know much about what was going on at the Proudfoots, and that's bothersome to me. Something that was said on AB's channel tonight during the live stream was very prevalent, very relevant. With all this he said, she said of CPS and allegations of abuse by the Proudfoots, Chris, whomever, towards your son, how is it you weren't notified? Please help the queen understand, because I'm curious. That's probably the best point that came out of that live stream. How is it you knew nothing about what was going on with your child? That's bothersome to me, because now we have to ask Katie. Good old Katie. Katie, did you not put Seth as a point of contact on the child's paperwork at school and doctor's offices? Or was it just Christopher? Well, he's a stepdaddy. He's the breadwinner. He's the sugar daddy. I'll put him on the paperwork, even though I know he don't really care about my son and he don't really act like he care, but I'll put him on there anyway because he's the breadwinner. Help me understand. Because I'm trying to understand how the fuck a man don't know his child getting whooped by the stepdaddy. Checkmate. See, there's a lot in the story that's been sitting in front of us, but ain't nobody paying attention because you're picking and choosing what you want to dwell on. So we can thank Mr. Proudfoot for that, bringing us the 411 about this whooping incident. The only time, which most people are not going to believe that. You probably didn't whoop him up until he went missing because you knew he probably would talk. Because if he went and told, let's just say, because I don't really know what to believe at this point. He went and told a teacher, whomever, my stepdaddy hits me hard, or he beat me, he bruised me, you will be a fool to whoop him again. Okay? But that's the whole point. You don't know if he was spanked regularly or spanked hard before he went and told. So where does Seth fit into this spanking dilemma? How is it this grown man does not know they use corporal punishment at the house? He did not know the child went and told the teacher, whomever he told, allegedly. God knows I got to say allegedly. I'm trying to understand, Seth, how you don't know about that. I knew something was wrong with the life of Sebastian when you told Court TV that. I didn't really know what was going on until I watched the live streams, how they felt about my son. That kind of hit me in my stomach. Shit, you know, really, it was like somebody just came in here and hit Queen. Boom. Come again? You didn't know how they felt about your child. So that means they were acting up until his disappearance, pretending to be caring adults, role models, caretakers. And that's also dangerous. This is why you know there's more to the story than this foolishness that's playing out right now. You know, you skip all the YouTube rhetoric, Facebook groups, all this old nonsense that's playing out, everybody giving their opinion, bickering back and forth, whatever. You have to pay attention to what's obvious. And what is obvious is what you've seen. The parents don't seem in tune to the child. Now, although Seth has been on the ground looking for the child, took off from work, he didn't know what the hell was going on with his child, and that's a problem. So then one would say he acted aloof in the beginning. Then he got on Court TV, got crunk, and I understood. I didn't get mad because I felt like, well, we're getting a little more reaction from him. But it still was bothersome because it's like, damn, he don't know what's going on with his kid. His kid ain't coming home telling him nothing. Just he waits a while to tell us, oh, yeah, and by the way, my son didn't want to go home. Oh, okay. So as I said in one of the live streams recently, did you ask your son, Sebastian, sweetheart, tell me why you don't want to go home? How long have you been feeling like this? What's the problem? What's the malfunction? Do I need to call Katie, Chris? Did he call them? If not, why not? So see, you have to ask all those questions because you all have opened up Pandora's box. So don't try to blame people on YouTube and commenters for shit you put out here. You put this shit out here. We don't even know you. And that's what pisses me off about people when they get mad about stuff that they put out. Because let's be truthful. They gave us a little bit to go on when they gave their interviews. Then they switched up a little commentary, which made people their eyebrows raised. Then you start talking, you seem aloof to not knowing nothing going on with the kid. So that made our eyebrows raise. Then you're the only one out there searching, and they're not. At least the mother should have been out there. Chris worked out of town, so okay, we'll give him a little pass because he didn't live in Hendersonville through the week. But the mother had no reason not to be out searching for her child. So that raised our eyebrows. Then we never heard from Katie's family, friends. That raised our eyebrows. Nobody in the neighborhood gave an interview or hid behind a screen. Nobody from the school spoke with the camera to the ground. No kids spoke. That was suspicious. Then we didn't hear from nobody from Seth's side either. That was suspicious. So see, you can't get mad at what you put out and portrayed to the public. That's on you. That has nothing to do with Queen. That has nothing to do with nobody. What you put out day one is on you. And a lot of people don't want to own their part. And that's why it's kind of hypocritical, rather, for you to say that about the PI, this and that. You yelling and screaming. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what they doing, what they ain't doing. You know what, homeboy? You right. I don't know who said what. I don't know who didn't take directions. You bitching and moaning about somebody didn't take this, didn't do this. The PI wasn't doing this. She's wanting to know a foot size, this size. I don't care. I want anybody to help search for my son. And I don't care who gets involved in. But you should care to some degree, because this is how rhetoric starts. This is how shit jumps off. You know who you sound like? You sound like somebody involved in a certain story that I was close to a few years ago with a missing person here in Knoxville. Yeah, I'm going to go on and say it. And they can get mad too. I don't give a fuck. Because I ain't about to be tiptoeing around nobody. There was an advocate involved in that story. And the person who was related to the missing person was upset. I didn't find this out until months later, mind you, when we were somewhere out and about. And I talked to the person and I was like, hey, what happened with you and the advocate? I'm like, damn, she really cared, about your loved one. I don't think she meant no harm. I was taking up for the crazy, the other person. Even though the advocate ended up being fucking crazy, but that's a whole nother story too. I've kind of discussed that on my channel. If you jog your memory back, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anywho, I'm talking to the victim's relative. And the relative is talking like Seth. She want to know this and this and that and asking all these questions. And I thought, well, what is the problem? That's her job. She's an advocate. How is she going to help you if she doesn't know anything about the victim? So I'm seeing signs from this old story I was around years ago here in Knoxville. And I couldn't understand where this heifer was coming from. Now, Queen, the real Queen, wanted to check her. But I didn't want to be disrespectful because of the situation. I wanted to say, but your loved one is missing. She does not know you. She was recommended to help you and your family. So if she's asking you questions about your loved one, she's asking out of concern, because how is she supposed to help you advocate for somebody missing and she don't even know nothing about the person that's missing? I don't think there was nothing wrong with her asking her personal questions. What did she do? Maybe what kind of people she was around. And I remember in the beginning when certain relatives were talking about the missing person, they were acting like there was something they didn't want people to know about the missing person. Because, Queen reads through shit. I'm good at that. I said to myself, I never said it to nobody, but I said it to myself. I said, I smell bullshit. Why is this relative talking? This is another relative, because I don't really say really who it is. But this one relative was talking, but she was like talking in circles, and something was rubbing me the wrong way. I kept saying, what is it they don't want us to know about the person missing? Because you act like it's something you don't want us to know about them. So what, they got a criminal record? They They've been in trouble. What? They dirty dance, they're a prostitute. What the hell is it? Because let me tell you something. People cannot help you if you are not willing to be truthful about who the person is. So that's no different than Summer, Sebastian, Caleb, whoever. Nobody can help you if they don't know who the person is. It's more to it than just searching on the ground. Because one, you got to know where to look, okay? But tell me something about the person. So if they become so let's say they end up being a victim. Let's flip it. They're already deceased, found dead. But you're looking for a suspect. You can't ask people to help. Hey, here. My mama was found dead and, well, we're looking for the suspect. But you don't want to tell us nothing about your mama. You don't want to tell us nothing about what she was doing, who she is, her hobbies. Something that can help us understand trying to find the perpetrator. So I'm getting flashbacks from an old story I was involved in. And I'm going to be honest. I had said to myself from that situation, because that situation got real ugly. Dealing with that person, they never wanted to talk to me on my YouTube channel, which I thought was, kind of disrespectful because it was kind of a slap in my face. I wasn't about to do anything facetious. I just wanted to get the story out that their family member was missing. I knew of these people. We weren't best friends or nothing, but I knew of them. So that's the reason why I let them know, well, hey, I got a channel. You ever want to come up? You want to talk about your loved one? Feel free. My door is open. No, didn't want to do it. And one relative, she didn't mind, but she was like, well, you better check in with my other relative just in case. I don't want no problems. And then when I finally got to talking to that person at the vigil, they didn't want to say nothing to me. They handed me off to the missing person's friend. So I interviewed the friend, talked to her, talked to the advocate, did a video about it. You feel free to check it in the YouTube queue. It just, everything about it rubbed me the wrong way. So it's bringing me flashbacks. This Sebastian story is taking me back to that. And whenever I get signs of something, especially I've experienced it, then I know I ain't wrong about what I'm really feeling. So that's why I know this story here is bullshit too. Because I don't think everybody's being honest about their role, about who they are, about what they didn't do to help Sebastian Rogers sustain life. That's my personal opinion. And I'm very good at reading people. And there's something off here. Seth knew nothing about this kid. What he did know wasn't enough, as I said, to sustain life. Now, could it be that he stuck his head in the sand and pushed his thumb up his ass and just said, fuck it, it'll work itself out? Well, as you see, it didn't. And that's why it's more to the story. So you can run around all day talking about who did what, who didn't do something. Nobody's been arrested. I think the fact that the boy is missing and all this secrecy coming out about how he was treated, CPS visits, CPS reports, that should tell you something. And you have to use deduction, and you also have to use stats. What are the odds this child had CPS reports, visits, shit unfounded, now he missing? And you want somebody to believe some random person, UFO, crocodile, Illuminati just snatched him up. I was listening to that content from Christopher Proudfoot. It was just today. Oh, he just disappeared and all that. Yeah, he up and disappeared. He sure did. But how did he disappear? Why was Seth not a point of contact for the child at the school? Make me understand. Why this man did not know his child was getting whooped, he wasn't happy. Why, and why? Why are you upholding your mother? Because I still say it starts with you because you're the parent. But there's no way I can just give my mother a pass too. She had information about my child being unhappy Oh, he talked to you? He told you what? Okay, well, I got to go talk to Kate. Oh, I got to have some words with her. I got to talk to her. Because I ain't even about to give this heifer no pass, her or Christopher. Oh, yeah, we would have had a meeting. I'd have took off from work if I had to. Oh, I want to holler at both of you. We getting ready to do a Zoom call or something. What the hell's going on with my son? Why is he unhappy? Why does he not want to come home? See, Seth never gave a timeline on that. Oh, yeah, my son told me in February. He told me in January. He told me in December. See, everything's open-ended. And now he's up here cussing and fussing on live streams, hollering and screaming and shit, acting like he's fucking crazy. Man, you better get a grip. Because you know what they say about burning bridges. Stepping over people to get on the ladder to go up. But you forgot going up a ladder, you must come back down. And you got to step over them same little people you were squashing on your way up. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, don't let Angela get gangster up in here, because y'all know I can. You're supposed to be trying to keep your composure, but yet you on a live stream talking. Once again, you weren't supposed to be back on YouTube. Let your PR man tell it, but there you are. Your PR man, woo, let's talk about Tony Mathis. Now, one thing I didn't do was come out the gate charging at that man, because I like to give everybody a chance, okay? You got a pass, you committed a crime. So, I ain't trying to get all into that, because guess what? Everybody sins. If everybody was to open their closet, hell, everybody probably be cut in the throat. Shut your mouth. All kind of damn bones be flying out of everybody's damn closet. The point is, what's the end game? Why you on TikTok? TikTok is like YouTube. What's the difference? Why not go to the news? If you got something you want to say to the news, you got something you want to say to the public, you want to talk to people, you want to reach the masses, I will go to the news. Now, for me to down YouTube would be like I'm downing myself, because I'm on YouTube, but I'm not your average YouTuber, and I don't put myself in a box with the average YouTuber. Hell no, I'm not crazy. I don't rock like nobody up here on this damn wire. Oh, I claims that. Because I shoot straight from the hip, and most YouTubers can't do that because they're scared. They too busy worried about an image and shit. I told myself, why am I going to pretend to be something I'm not to get a like and a view? That wouldn't be Angela. I ain't gonna say and do stuff just because people in the chat say, well, I like this and I like her, so I'm supposed to say, well, I like her too, just so they'll tune in. You tune in if you do. If you don't, then you don't. You unsubscribe, you unsubscribe. Somebody like me. I didn't start the channel off just from, wanting to be liked. What's the difference between TikTok and YouTube? Please explain to me. I thought you were trying to help him, Tony, to reach the masses, to portray a better image, to be more calm. Shit, he done went off the handle tonight. The gates of hell open up tonight. Because that's the point. You can't control people. You can't tell people how to act. You can't tell people what to do. You may be mild-mannered, Mr. Mathis, but as you see, Seth Rogers is crunk. He's crunk now. Maybe out of frustration. Maybe some other stuff going on. I don't know. As he said, y'all don't know what's going on. You're right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with you and Tony. I don't know what's going on with you and the Proudfoots. I don't know what's going on with you and Rockin' Robin. I don't know what's going on with anything. But the one thing all of you need to own is the part that you have played in the life of Sebastian. You see, that is the one thing that none of you want to fucking own up to, is that none of you played your role. Because I don't give a fuck what any of you say. You all are the reason the boy is missing. I'm not getting ready to put it on the school. I'm not getting ready to put it on the neighbors. I'm not getting ready to put it on the weather, the lake, nothing. You all are the reason for the season. Somebody dropped the ball in the rearing of this boy. Now, did he run away? He could have, but like somebody said, he verbal. He know how to talk. We saw him making gestures in videos. He knows how to throw a fucking ball down to knock some pins over. He wasn't too slow. So let's give the kid some type of credit that he would know how to tell something. And if he could tell somebody at the school that somebody was doing something to him inappropriate, such as hurting him, why I'm supposed to think he didn't know how to go knock on somebody's door if he was running for his life, running for his safety? He felt threatened. He had a fight with his mother, Chris, whomever. He would have sense enough to go knock on the door. See, this is why I tell you ain't nobody paying attention to what is obvious. If I'm supposed to believe he told somebody at the school he was being whooped, then he would know how to knock on your door to tell you, could you please help me? They're hurting me. Checkmate. There's no cohesiveness with Tony, Seth, the Proudfoots, all this rhetoric playing out on these Facebook groups, everybody arguing, fussing, blocking people, folks complaining about getting blocked. Well, that comes with the game. I didn't say anything and I only said this and they blocked me and blah, blah, blah. Get out the kitchen. Ain't you to realize the block is high? It's a dirty game up here. It's a dirty game out here. Social media is a dirty game. You can't hang on the ride, get off. And that's the sad part of this story. This story is playing out on social media. And a lot of these true crime cases are. It's about what you're willing to tolerate. So you see, it's like anything. You go run to YouTube to spin the story. But then you get mad at what people are saying. So what I'm saying to you, Seth, the Proudfoots, whomever, then get off YouTube. That's the simplest thing you can do. So now you got to ask yourself, Tony at TikTok, hanging on TikTok late night, which makes no sense. Some of you think it's a money grab. He's trying to promote himself. I heard something on AB's channel about a $2,500, somebody asking for money. For what? What you need $2,500 for? Allegedly. Let me say that. For somebody to come in here crying and hollering. Tony Mathis, what you need $2,500 for? What really went on, Seth, with you and these PIs? I'm curious. They weren't going in the direction you wanted. She want to know this. She want to know that. She want to know about this person, that person. Well, you do need to be careful. Because obviously you're not paying attention to what's really going on. You can't trust people. So you mad at the PI because she wants you to be careful of people coming in your circle. And you found a problem with that? Well, this is the reason why you obviously didn't watch YouTube. You said you like YouTube. You got the YouTube app. You're not on Facebook. Well, obviously you didn't watch enough YouTube to know that there are a lot of snakes. And when you're talking about missing people, dead people, everybody don't have your best interest at heart. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody ain't in it to really help you find your kid. Help you get the word out about your kid. You might need to watch the Summer Wells case and you might understand why the PI was trying to vet people. Because this is what I'm talking about right there, here. You ain't woke. You are not woke, Seth Rogers. Because you're already arguing with people who say they're going to help you. Then you want to pussyfoot around and talk about it. Why y'all ain't evenly yoked. So you see, that's more shit for people to gossip about. And all we got That is your version. Because if she don't come out and say, well, this is what really happened and woo, then all we got is one side of the coin. And that's the point that you need to understand. You are letting this shit play out on YouTube. But yet you all want to judge the people on YouTube, the commenters, the YouTubers, but you steady talking on YouTube. So that don't make no sense. So that allegedly, your PR man is supposed to be navigating you away from YouTube, but yet he on TikTok, which is another fucking form of YouTube, in my opinion, to talk about what? Then we got this Crabtree dude misspeaking about seeing the boy on the 26th or whatever. He shouldn't have been saying nothing. For what? He don't know the kid. He ain't a Proudfoot. He ain't a Rogers. Shouldn't have been over there messing with the police. Because that's the point of what I guess the PI was trying to tell you. You got people trying to get involved. You need to know who you're dealing with. Just like you need to know her. You need to know anybody else that's a PI, a dog handler, whoever. I get what you're saying. Oh, well, I need help. I don't care about them. I don't care nothing about them. That's a fool talking. You should want to know a little something. Now, I'm not saying you need to have everybody's background check to search. You understand what I'm saying? But if they're coming in, as a official capacity, then you might want to run a check on them, make sure they up to par. They know what they're doing. I wouldn't want somebody coming up talking about I'm a dog handler and I know how I train canines to search for cadavers and living people, but I just got some old regular ass German Shepherd. Come on now. Oh, hi, I'm a PI. I got my own agency, but they working out they fucking shed. They don't have any credentials. They don't have any resources. They don't have anything to actually do the job. So, yeah, you should want to check out somebody who's working in an official capacity. That to me, there's nothing wrong with vetting people in an official capacity. Come on now. But yeah, somebody say, hey, we want to search. We want to help you search for your son. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, volunteers come. Cool. No big deal. But you still need to be leery of other people coming to search. And they want to get too buddy-buddy, friendly. Because you don't know who may have ulterior motives. So this leads me to believe that perhaps you are green. And that is probably why, most likely why, your son is missing. Because you are green. And the fact you work in law enforcement, I thought this weeks ago. I said, if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't even think Seth worked in law enforcement. Because he acts rather gullible. Not trying to be mean, but I'm just calling a spade a spade. So now we got to talk to Mr. Mathis. Mr. Mathis, what is your end game here? Are you here genuinely to help this man find his son? Or are you here to promote yourself? Just asking. I don't have anything against you per se. I'm just watching everything play out. What is your motivation? Because I'm trying to understand this TikTok shit. Because you look stupid telling this man get off YouTube, but you on TikTok. But you may feel like, well, I'm the PR guy. I can be anywhere. You're right. You can sit on top of the Eiffel Tower if you want to. You can fly your ass over there. But I'm looking at you as a PR person. I would be talking to News Nation somebody. Shit, if I'm getting ready to toot my own horn, I'm getting ready to toot it right. Scarlett, carry your ass on somewhere. I'm not trying to hear that shit you're talking about. See what I'm saying? Oh, she's mean. No, bitch, I'm not mean. I'm calling a spade a spade. This boy didn't just pop up and disappear. So you want to keep your head in the sand, that's on you. That's on you. That got nothing to do with Queen. I'm good at reading people. And just like I said, because obviously you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I see the signs of why the boy is missing. You'd have to be a dodo bird at this point not to see why he is missing. So you carry that fucking bullshit on. You can rally for Seth, the Proudfoots. I don't give a fuck who you rally for. That's on you. But don't come over here with that bullshit because I don't want to hear it. That's the fucking reason why he missing right now. Stupidity. Somebody has to carry the weight for this kid. And nobody carried the weight. That's why he's not here. I ain't about to sit up here and believe in this UFO unicorn shit. Oh, he walked away. He went to the pond. He liked water. Autistic people like water. You people that wore that out. Let you tell it he couldn't even talk. Maybe that's what the problem is. He could talk. Did that ever occur to anybody? Since everybody knows so much about the Proudfoots and Sebastian. See, this is why I keep trying to tell you, you all ain't been listening to what the fuck the Proudfoots have been telling you. He could talk. Damn. Get your thumbs out your ass. The Proudfoots have been telling you the story all along, and you just sitting up here picking and choosing what you want to digest after conversations. They've been spinning the story day one. Day one. We didn't like the kid. We don't like the kid. That's why I'm up here talking bad about him on YouTube. Who the fuck does that with a missing kid? Nobody. Nobody with some sense. But then the father comes along. He goes on court TV. He can't answer nothing, don't know nothing. I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Oh, but I found out. Oh, how did you find out? You found out what? Oh, watching the live streams, how they really felt about my kid. You know how ridiculous that sounds? You learn how these people cared about your child or didn't care from a YouTube live stream. How disturbing is that? And this is the crazy part about that. He says that, you know the Proudfoots have heard him say it, and he just jumped back and kept telling more stuff. Because guess what? All the stuff about the boo-booing and the peeing and the diapers, I do believe all that came after Seth's court TV interview. So Christopher was telling you, I don't give a fuck that you found out how I feel about your son. Guess what? I'm going to tell you something else. They didn't like him at school. That's why they were making fun of him. You know, don't know if that's true or not, but he's poking fun at a kid who possibly is not even alive. Why do you think he's saying this stuff? Because he's breathing? Damn, how y'all missed that? Exactly, Pink Ice. That's the reason why I got popcorn in the title. All of this nonsense about a photograph, glasses, pants found. Oh, the police said he was seen at 26. If the Proudfoots are involved, or let's say somebody else is involved, so some of you want to root for the Proudfoots. They just sit here looking at y'all like, look at these stupid ass people up here, YouTube and Facebook. They just go out and say any damn thing and don't fact check nothing. And Tony, you should have fact checked Mr. Crabtree's version about talking to the detective. So really, what is your role? And hell yeah, it's popcorn time. Look at these fools. They believe that picture bullshit. They went gaga goo-goo over the pants found. They thought those glasses were Sebastian's. Oh, they even believe he was talking to his grandmother. Like somebody said in one of the chats. How the hell you know who that was texting the grandmama if it's even true? Exactly. He said and she said. Then you want to come over here and raise hell with the queen because she make a video about a fucking bicycle, tricycle. I don't give a fuck if Seth bought a motorcycle or not. I knew the visual was coming up. Why you telling me? You need to do your homework. Motherfucker, I watched the Pascal show. I knew all about the motherfucking vigil. That wasn't the point of the video. Because that's what happens. Nobody reads the title. Nobody listens to the content. First few minutes of the live, what do I say? If he bought a motorcycle. Oh my God. Oh, she's lying over there. She's passing false information. As if you ain't been passing false information. Everybody's up here talking about these fucking fools. Because right now, these people are fools to me. Going off, cussing, fussing, talking bad about the little boy. He can't hear us. I say what I want about him. I don't give a damn. You don't give a damn because he possibly ain't breathing. What's the old saying? A dead man tells no tales. Ain't no, y'all missed that. Think about it for just a second. What type of human would talk about a child missing, an autistic child at that? Whatever level of autism, I don't care. Not here to argue none of that. The point is, this is what they put out about him. It is what it is. But what sane person, what person with a heart would go to a platform, the news, a newspaper, whomever, and talk bad about the child wearing diapers? What decent human would do that? Because you're not decent. And you would definitely do it. Ding, 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 ding. Listen closely. You definitely would talk bad about him if you know he dead. Bingo card. Say it, Queen, because somebody didn't hear it. You definitely would talk bad about him if you know he dead and he's never going to speak. He's never going to refute what you said about him because you know he ain't going to ever come back. He ain't breathing and you ain't going to find him. So I can say whatever I want to say about him. How'd y'all miss that? How y'all miss that? So this is why you need to be paying attention to what Mr. Proudfoot is saying, since he so kindly wants to talk. His wife act like she can't talk. She couldn't look for the boy. They telling you the story. He ain't coming back. Katie's stupid enough to let her husband get up here and degrade her son because I know he ain't coming back. So I'll let Christopher talk about the dirty diapers. I don't care. Hell yeah, he was shitting on himself and pissing on himself. I don't care. Who cares? I don't care. He ain't gonna say nothing. I guess he ain't gonna say nothing. His eyes is shut. Isn't that right, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot? You know more about the story than anybody. And you're sitting back laughing at these people running around talking and cussing and fussing and arguing on Facebook pages and YouTube, and creators bickering with one another, just like the Summer Wells case, the West case. It's all the same because you already know where the child is. Because you've always known. Now, flip side could be you're just uncaring motherfuckers and he ran off into the wilderness and he died out there. Is that what you would like for us to believe? Because I kind of think that is what you want us to believe. So long as they think the child wandered off or he was lured away, that takes the heat off of us. And that's why I don't understand why you continuously keep talking on this jukebox. And Mr. Rogers, I don't understand why you up here talking. You hired a PR person who is supposed to be guiding you in the right place to keep you mild-mannered, but you still crunk, and you still talking on that Smiley's Ladies channel. Why? Why are you talking to her? So now one's gonna say, well, what do you need Tony for? Because you'll define what you hired him for. Are we gonna look up and see Mr. Tony Mathis with a YouTube channel? Because somebody said that. I mean, AB said it. Well, you might as well just go and get your YouTube channel, Tony. Stop faking the funk on a nasty dunk. Just go and get the channel, baby. You know you want it. Just go and get it. Be done with it. Shit. Live a little. Because TikTok really ain't no different than YouTube. So I don't understand why you over there on TikTok anyway. I don't understand why you all aren't talking to the news. I don't understand why you are not going to the news to say, I'd like an update from the police to TBI. Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better? So, criticizing the YouTube platform, but both of y'all still up here. Switching back and forth. He's going to TikTok, Mr. Mathis, as if TikTok is better. Biden trying to get rid of TikTok, so you might want to find you another platform. How about that? What is wrong with CNN News? Help me understand. Why are you not trying to talk to CNN? Gayle King, Good Morning America. You don't like YouTube? You don't like what YouTube represents? Then why do you keep talking? So Seth, you are not taking the advice that your PR person was trying to give you. So I'm confused. And yet you all get mad because somebody would ask that question. No, you can't get mad because this is what you put out here. So you can't keep getting angry at the messages that you send into the universe. You all got to stop that because that's ignorant. Oh, I want people to help me. I don't care where it comes from. Isn't that what you said on that Smiley Ladies channel? I don't care where it comes from. You huffing and puffing, about to have a damn stroke. Well, if you don't care where it comes from, why don't you go out to the pasture to a bigger network, such as I just said, Good Morning America? Why don't you go to platforms that people watch who don't watch YouTube? Because everybody don't watch YouTube. So how about going to a bigger platform where people still got antennas on the TV and watch the news, such as older people? Hell, let's go to Good Morning America. Older people watch the early news, the Today Show. Stay woke. See, your PR is supposed to have game to say, we need a broader audience. YouTube has got all this confusion and backlash. We need to go mainstream. So, Tony, you're not really doing your part. Now, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just keeping it real. Because TikTok, to me, that's for people that like to dance in front of the fucking camera. Get with their kids in the living room and dance in their fucking matching pajamas. That's what I think of with TikTok. So when you over here at TikTok, yeah, I'm looking at you kind of weird too. Like, well, how is TikTok different than YouTube? It ain't. Hey, Donna. How is TikTok different? You're supposed to be guiding Seth to a broader plane. Hey, I'm getting ready to reach out to Good Morning America, Today's Show. That's who you should be talking to. Hi, my name is Seth Rogers. I'm trying to get an understanding of what's going on. I've learned a lot of incriminating things that I don't appreciate. And I've tried to meet up with these parents, but they don't want to meet me halfway. I mean, you don't say what you want to say. Oops, but I forgot. You ain't supposed to be talking bad about the Proudfoots. But they don't give two fucks about you. And I get it. You want to try to keep some peace in the valley. But it ain't no peace. That's why your son missing. Why is nobody paying attention to what is sitting right in front of you? There has never been no peace in the valley. So you want to now put makeup on top of a wound. Go get some Maybelline try to spread it on with a sponge to a bunch of open wounds. Or when did that ever work? Girl, what happened to you? Well, what you mean? What happened to your face? Why you got all them lesions in your face? Open wounds. That Maybelline ain't covering it up. It's just making it worse. Exactly, Melissa. That's why Sebastian Rogers is missing. Because there was trouble in paradise. Rocky waters. Nonsense. Rhetoric. Hate. Delusions. And had the school ask Katie, well, where is the child's father? We need to talk to him. Where is he? Because most people will ask that if indeed the child was acting up, as Mr. Proudfoot said, they had a little issues with him invading people's personal space. Wouldn't you ask that? Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I understand you're remarried, ma'am. Where is Sebastian's father? Oh, he lives over there on 15th Street. He's, an hour or so away. Well, is he in the child's life, ma'am? Yes, he is. Well, would you like to have him as a point of contact? We would like to talk to him. What's his name? Oh, Seth Rogers. Damn. Yes, Donna. Why was Seth not a point of contact on the boys' paperwork at school? What about his doctors? Katie, did you put Seth on the paperwork? You can't reach me. Something happened to me. I'm sick. I'm dead. Here's his father's name and phone number. I bet you didn't even have Seth's name on shit. And the reason why we know this is because he acted like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Unless Seth making this up. And now he jiggy and he crumb. So like I said, I gave Seth the pass a month or so ago because I said the man's upset. The Proudfoots ain't doing shit. And he's wailing out. He's mad. And I get it. But all this old extra shit with the PIs and all that, I'm not putting my stamp on nothing because I don't really understand what the hell's going on with none of these people. And I didn't get a version from the other people, so I'm not just getting ready to sit up here and believe everything Seth had to say because we are now seeing another side of Seth. Now, one could say, well, it's because he's upset. Okay, but you ain't going to be able to keep using that as no excuse every time you go live. You starting to act like that Gonsalves man, Kaylee's dad out there in Idaho. You seething and puffing and huffing like the big bad wolf every time the camera roll. You got to get some fucking control. You control what we see. You control the cameras. You don't let us control you. You don't let the media control the story. And you don't let YouTube control the story. You want to get control of the story. You watch what you say. You watch how you act. Because people are going to think all types of shit, whether they hear from you or not. People are already negative when the Proudfoot spoke. And naturally, Seth, you didn't have anything to do with that. That was their doing. But when you came on and started talking like you didn't know what the fuck was going on with your child, some of us were raising our eyebrows. Like, okay, what's really going on here? Is this man just green or gullible, or he really don't know that these people didn't care for his kid? And now we got all this he said, she said, with pictures and coats and jackets and glasses, and I've had enough. So I'm going to say this to the next person. Do not bring your ass to YouTube talking about you saw that little boy at the gas station, the filling station, Piggly Wiggly, the mountaintop. Please stop it. It's ignorant and it's disrespectful. Just stop it. What law has? They ain't getting ready to share. They don't do that. They will give you an update when they have something that they want you to know. If it is criminal, the investigation, they do not have to tell you. They will tell you what they want you to know. If they have a suspect or suspects, they will not tell you. You know when they will tell you? It's when they fucking arrest them. And then they will bring you the information through the affidavit. But until then, they're not telling you nothing. And like somebody has said, if the Proudfoots were cleared, say it again, Queen. If the Proudfoots are cleared, let me use are, police would have no problems telling you so. We have cleared Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. We do not believe that they are suspects or have any knowledge into the disappearance of their son. And they will also say the same about Seth Rogers, his mama, and whomever else. Let's hear from Mr. Seth Rogers. Lord have mercy, the devil is a liar. Seth Rogers, what is this all about right here, this nonsense up on this woman's channel? Sweet Jesus, somebody called a doctor. Thank you all so much for joining me. And that's another thing. Sometimes being quiet, law enforcement is sending you a message as well. We do know something, we just ain't told you. Because I ain't got to tell you. I ain't got to tell you everything I'm thinking. I ain't got to tell you everything that we doing. And that landfill business, they went out there for a reason. Crime Stoppers, no reward. I find that suspect. 2.5 months, no reward. Why not? See, this is why I keep telling everybody, you got to pay attention. Stop focusing on all this other extra stuff, because as you see, all this extra shit with pictures, photographs, I saw him over here, I saw him over there, nothing is panning out, and police haven't come to tell you they saw him at a gas station, filling station, Grandpa Mountain, that park that somebody sent Seth to, which I didn't understand why the fuck he would go look for his child 3 hours away. Oh, why would you go there? Oh, somebody told me. So you just gonna go drive 3 fucking hours down the highway because somebody told you. See, I was pissed off at that, but I didn't dwell on it. I said, this man's just desperate. But that don't make no sense. So somebody call you and tell you, hey, I think Sebastian in New Jersey. Oh, where? Oh, I saw him sitting on the stoop on 15th Street. And you just gonna get up and get on your airplane and fly all the way to New Jersey. Come on, this gotta stop. You got to know how to go about things. So if somebody call you right now and say, well, I think your child in New Jersey. What you do is you get their name, information, and then you go hand it over to the TBI and the police, and you let them go search. If they can't send you no proof, they can't send you a picture, and it look like your child sitting on a stoop in New Jersey, then you don't carry your ass up there. Seth Rogers.
Individual would sit there and lie to my face, and then sit there and put out lies to begin with. And now he want to go out there whenever I'm in a podcast or whatnot, and nothing about Sebastian. No, nothing about my son. You know, all about Chloe and her little clique. You know, when I asked her to step back, she took almost all the searchers with them. And now people are like, oh, he was like a slap to my face. They don't know why I asked her to step back. But I asked her to step back because she's a private investigator trying to be a star person. You need to get out of the field and get back to doing private investigation, which she wasn't doing. She wanted to vet everybody.
Let me stop right there. Seth, you don't know what you're saying. That don't make no sense what you're saying. A PI is supposed to go out in the field. What you mean? Help me understand. When did a PI sit at a desk to gather information? That's not their job to sit at a desk. They're supposed to go out in the field and look at whatever information they're getting, whoever they're talking to, vet out the people they're talking to. That's what a PI is supposed to do, is get up and go out. You saying get out of the field. Well, if she needs to get out of the field, then yeah, you're right. You didn't need her. How about that? Because I don't really understand where you're coming from. So I don't know if you're not telling the whole truth of what really was going on between you all, if this just was some tit for tat because you hired Tony as the PR and they felt offended some type of way. I don't understand, but this makes no sense to say she need to get out of the field and stop vetting people. That's what a private investigator is supposed to do. They're supposed to go talk to people. They're supposed to corroborate anything that they said. So right now, if somebody told her, well, I heard this and I saw this, she's supposed to say, well, do you have any proof? Was there any other witnesses? I'm confused. This don't make no sense to me.
Everybody, like, I want to know, what size foot they were when they were born. And it's like, I will accept help from anybody to find my son. And people are taking my good-hearted nature and just trampling all over it. And it's going to bring out the negative part of me that don't give a flying. Mm-hmm. Smile around and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
I agree, Donna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy? And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh,
Step.
really hoping find Sebastian doing this.
Hey, why you sitting there changing your face? Hey, what, can't spend the time looking for summer no more, right? You want to say where I'm at? You see where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you on this panel right now? Don't you ever, and I will let this be publicly known, you, Chloe, your whole team does not have my blessing to use my name or my son's name to ask people to search on their property like you have a contract with me. Trevor, you need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it because if I recall, I'm the one that...
Yeah, is it because if I recall, I didn't ask you to respond. I told you to get off the panel, boy. This is my son, not yours. My son, not yours. My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to shut literally. This is my goddamn son.
Seth.
Well, Smiley, how you feel about that? You put Trevor up there and you had them know that Seth had some ill feelings about him. I don't really know what the fuck is going on because as I tell you all, I don't follow the Proudfoots and Seth around on all these channels and stuff. I don't have that kind of time. I like my free time to myself. And my thing is, if it's not anything life-threatening pertaining to Sebastian or any case I cover, I don't readily repeat it and make videos about it. Other YouTubers do that. I do not. So what is this all about? Somebody help the queen. Wish somebody call me on IG and tell me because I don't know what the hell's going on. And I'm afraid to ask, quite frankly. Let me see what y'all talking about. Showing his true colors. Why is Seth being like this? Boy, what the F? Yes. He came on a few minutes later and walked that all back, okay? Because he knew how he came off like he always does and starts crying and everything else BS, okay? Poor Sebastian, just a tool for his piece of shit parents to use for attention. Imagine what Sebastian lived with. Yes, that's the point, Blue Dragonfly. If what you have seen is chaotic to you, buffoonery, delusional, imagine what it was like for a 15-year-old boy, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, dealing with this type of nonsense. Now imagine what his life was like when he and Katie were together and they were arguing and bickering and calling each other probably nasty names and finger pointing, and she's going to court saying, he hit me, he abused me, he abused my child. Don't know if it's true or not. He's never going to tell us the truth if he abused Katie and the boy. Because you see how crunk he's getting. Somebody may judge him and say, well, how do I know you weren't abusive? You weren't whooping your child, spanking your child, which, you know, Everybody grew up different. I grew up getting spankings, but I never got spanked for the same thing twice. But the point is, everybody does things differently in their home. So somebody might look at this and say, well, you get so hot and heated, like they tell me. You get so angry, you might be capable of violence. We're all capable of violence. You put us in the right room and put it in the right circumstances. Come on. But was he violent with Katie Proudfoot? Was he violent with his son, Sebastian? Are we getting the real Seth that seems concerned, or is he slowly unraveling and we're finally seeing another side that is the real Seth Rogers? What is going on here? I'm just asking. Seth acting like this, Colin Taylor, boy, oh, I know it. Really sad. So wow with Sebastian living with this BS. What is happening? I don't know. Could be both, in my opinion. Yes, it could. So what has Trevor done? Somebody enlighten me in the chat. What is going on with this Trevor and Seth business? Because I just was in the queue tonight, looking for my home decor videos. And I saw this and I said, well, let me open this up and see what the hell they're talking about. And my goodness gracious. What in the effing you know what? So you don't want Trevor helping. Why not? You don't want Trevor talking? And Smiley, you sitting up there with your hand on your mouth and pulling your glasses up. You knew what was going on because you had to have known he had a problem with Trevor, or did you not know? Because I don't want to say something that's incorrect. So did you or did you not know Seth had an issue with Trevor, Smiley? Because if you knew, you were wrong to put Trevor up there. And I'm going to say that. So what's the truth? Because I don't know what the hell's going on. Y'all got too much fucking shit going on. Supposedly Trevor leaked a phone call. Who was the phone call, Cindy? Melissa, he's been a person that talks about Summer Wells. He has a YouTube channel. Okay, Blue Dragonfly says she knew. Okay, so that's my point. So let's say this allegedly, because I don't want to hear nothing from that heifer, because y'all know I will go toe to toe. Smiley, if you knew Seth had a problem with him, you should not have asked him up on the panel. You should have sent a message to Seth to say, well, Trevor's here. He's in the back room. He'd like to come up. Is it okay? Basically, he just ransacked your live stream to tell you he don't want him up there. Get off of here, boy. Well, damn, I'm the hostess. And she sit up there, she ain't said nothing. So some people look at you like, well, you didn't have control of your panel. You supposed to tell Seth, now look, we're not going to have that type of talk up here. We're going to let him say what he has to say. You say what you got to say, and then we're going to let Trevor respond. You just let Seth run all over that fucking live stream, and you sit here holding your hand on your mouth, but you had to know it's about to jump off because really you had your hand on your mouth before he even saw Trevor up there. Fucked up. Just fucked up. I have no idea, Flora, my damn self, honey. She acted tough until Seth came up. I'm lost on this part. I missed the Smiley BS. Honey Solo, I don't know my damn self. I don't even know why Seth and Trevor have a problem with each other. I think I've commented on Trevor's channel once, 2 months or so ago. He was real polite. He was like, well, we all have different opinions. And other than that, I left that be. I ain't trolling that man's channel because I don't have time for all that. I can watch people live streams. I can get a feel if I like their style or whatever. I may comment, I may not. And if I smell bullshit in the live stream, I check out. I don't watch, I don't comment, I don't say nothing. I keep it moving. I'm not one of those that's going to sit there and argue with a YouTuber in their chat back and forth about this and that. I don't get down like that. I wouldn't waste my breath. She thanked everybody for having so many views. Come on, she knew, and so did Seth. and Tony. That's why they showed up. They said they knew nothing and they were out searching all day. Yeah, okay, all right. I do not watch either one of them. I only watched it for 10 minutes and that was enough for me. Just wait, by tomorrow there will be dozens of videos about it. Well, of course, Flora. Trevor was supposed to be leaving YouTube. I don't know why it may be this mess. Your channel is the only one I comment on because you are so real, not fake. Thank you. I appreciate that. Was anyone following this case even surprised by Christopher talked on that call? I wasn't. Well, Kira, I think people knew, he's full of shit, Christopher Proudfoot. That's why I said if he'll talk bad about a child, you couldn't be surprised him calling somebody a bitch and all that. Come on. Tomorrow there's a dozen videos up. Right now, about it to have the YouTube was in on her life. There's a dozen videos up right now about it. Have to have the YouTube was in on her life. What do you mean, Donna? To understand what you're saying. Well, that's enough to make you What you mean Trevor was leaving YouTube? I don't understand what you're saying. Why would he be leaving YouTube? I'm confused. What is really going on? Nobody in the chat is telling me. Somebody would call me on IG and tell me because I'm live streaming from this phone, so I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on. I just found that tonight, and I said, well, I'm gonna go live. I said because I need to talk to people about what's been bothering me about Seth and this Tony person, all this old just nonsense. I've had just about enough of this. It's just really sad to me. Really, really sad. I don't understand none of it. Well, hold on, everybody. I'm only in one group, pull myself out of everything, and I stopped watching a lot of people because it's getting to be too much. Seth accused Trevor. Say what? Trevor. I'm trying to read this comment. Seth accused Trevor of leaking this Christopher Proudfoot call. Oh, okay. Well, that still doesn't make any sense, Tina, because how would Trevor have a hold of the call? That don't make no sense. How would Trevor get a hold of the call? How does he know these people? Think about what you're saying. How does Trevor know Chloe or whomever when Trevor was allegedly around when the call was made? That don't make no sense. I'm assuming one of them had leaked it. I thought maybe Seth or one of the PIs leaked it. That would make more sense to me. How does Trevor fit into that? Help me understand. Help me understand. Trevor Lee came up on his own, smiling. She knew but didn't know what he was going to say or what was going on between them. Both not her fault. Well, Kim, you got to bring a receipt to prove that. I'm lost because there's two Trevors, so I'm out of the loop. When Tony came on board, they asked everyone to back off who had been there since the beginning. Trevor was the first one to get Seb's name out. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, you mean talking about it on YouTube? Everyone pointing fingers at who leaked the tape. On the CP phone call with 70 F words. Yeah. I think they all liars, but that is what Seth said on Smiling. I don't believe that for 1 minute, because how did he wind up on Smiley's show if he wasn't supposed to be there? And he said he was out searching all day. Or he saw her live, maybe. I don't know. Remember, he said he watched YouTube, but he ain't supposed to be watching YouTube. Let Tony tell it. I told him to stay off of YouTube. You know he wasn't going to stay off of YouTube. Accusation was made by Seth. Oh, Lord. Wish somebody would call the queen so I can get an understanding of what the hell is going on. Because I'm confused. I don't know. Oh, my head hurts so bad. Ain't got no requests. I don't know. CPS. I'm confused too. We're all confused. So Trevor first talked about Sebastian Rogers. Okay, well, what does that have to do with why Seth is upset with him? Somebody help me understand. Somebody call me on IG. I don't like when we do all this texting back and forth. I want to hear somebody talk and explain it to me. Because I don't understand. Oh. Well, stop obsessing, honey. You make yourself sick. Why do they care about that CP phone call? No one is surprised he acted that way. Can you imagine being alone with that man? Very true. That's the whole point of this story. With what you have seen play out on YouTube, the wrong place for this to play out. Imagine what the child's life was like. Imagine you have parents who are not in tune to raising you, mistreating you. You know, whether you believe the allegations of him sleeping in a garage, whatever, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't know where all that shit came from. I'm to the point where I'm tired of hearing it all, because I like to see and hear, and I want something validated. Because if that's the case, my mind can just run wicked of what I think happened to Sebastian in his house. And I'm not trying to take my mind down a rabbit hole like that. But what the father has portrayed, the stepfather, it's no telling what went on in the house. And then you got Seth over here acting like he don't know nothing until he watched YouTube. So people will sit here and think, well, damn, just imagine if the child was still running around living with them. Your head would really be in the fucking sand. So it's like, when was he ever going to find out how these people really treated his child? This is crazy to me. I just don't understand none of it. There's some parts of me wonder if Seth is just putting on an act, and he does know more, but he don't want to elude. He don't want to tell the truth to the audience because that would look bad. Yeah, I knew they were abusing my kid. Yeah, I let my child stay there. I didn't want to be fighting with her in the courts about my son. I waited till we got to a happy medium to take him in the summer, if that's true. That's why I'm saying, what if you found out all that shit Kristen put up there on YouTube? And what if you found out the little boy wasn't really going to live with Seth? That's why I keep telling you all. Y'all keep bitching and moaning and crying about what somebody's saying and doing. How do you know anything said is the truth by all three? What if the little boy was never going to live with Seth? I'm just saying, because I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. Okay, if I want to believe they got rid of him, then I got to come up with a motive. Well, why did they do it? He was a problem. He talked too much. He used the bathroom on himself. Well, maybe they would have caused him using the bathroom on himself. But I'm an abuser. I'm not going to think about that. He's a problem. He was a problem before he's pissing and shitting on himself. You know what I'm saying? You got to think like how they would think. You got to think how sadists would think. They're not going to take responsibility for a child using the bathroom on themselves. What was the reason? They got rid of that kid. Why? He was a problem. Dead weight. A burden. I don't want to take care of him no more. I want to be free. I don't want to be obligated to an autistic kid. More than likely, he ain't going to work. He ain't going to get a job. He ain't going to have his own apartment. I want grandkids. I want somebody's that's going to be substantial in the world. Maybe Katie saw all that. Her son was not going to be this great human being she wanted him to be. But that's not his fault. But like somebody said, did you try to rear him to be self-sufficient? Did he know how to wash dishes, load a dishwasher, mop a floor, clean a tub? Did you ever think about getting the child a job? Hey, he needs to work part-time after school. Give him something to do instead of playing with Twitch. So you lead by example. Because there are a lot of mentally delayed individuals who actually go to work every day. So if I can see a Down syndrome person working, then why can't this child work? I'm just saying. That's why I was trying to ask, how far on the spectrum are we talking here? Too many questions and no damn answers. Step back because they wanted searchers to be vetted with Seth was like, no, the more the merrier. We don't have time for all this. So now Seth is getting token advantage of all these people. So the PI stepped back because they wanted searchers to be vetted. Okay, I see what you're saying. Katie and Candace, where are your Melissa, stop it, please. So she wanted all the people vetted, the searchers. And that's why he was making that comment. I just want people to help. Well, I think she may have said that because of what happened with the pants and the eyeglass situation. Let me give her a little leeway on that. When you have random people searching, what did I tell you? Just about the same thing I'm saying about the PIs, Tony, the Proudfoot, Seth, Robin, as I was saying, you don't know people. You don't know who's really invested in this case. So if you got some people that's up to no good, they want to be seen, they're clout chasers, how you know they ain't going to pop up and say, oh, I found a shoe, I found this? Because that might be the reason why she said that. She wanted people vetted because you don't know people. But that's the point. You take a gamble every time you deal with people. Nobody's going to admit, oh, yeah, I'm going to plant something to make it look like it belongs to Sebastian. That's the only reason I could think she wanted to vet searchers. It's because of the mishap with the sunglasses and the pants. I don't know. It's all very sad, and I do think they will ever find that child. Donna, you said you think they will or they won't? What Donna talking about? One of the guys in the beginning, I think, was a sexual offender. What would have happened if he would have found the child? Okay, Donna. Well, Donna, I think we already know, but I understand your point. The child is probably not here. Now, if he is alive, as somebody has said in a chat, and many people have said this, how do you know the child ain't in New York, Arizona, Idaho, Nebraska? What makes you think the child is right under everybody's nose? Nobody would be stupid enough to have Sebastian out and about in Hendersonville or Mount Juliet or Nashville. That wouldn't make no sense. I've kidnapped you for my own sick purposes. I'm not going to let you walk outside. I'm not going to let you play outside or take you to the park. And I found that interesting, too, when they were talking about that. I was watching something the other day, how he liked playing at the park. So the first thing I thought was, well, he still got a child like mine, this autistic child. He still like going to the park, playing in the park at 15. So that led me to think what I had been thinking. This ain't a child that was going to be on his own in 3 years, 4 years. This is a child that was going to have to be glued to the hip of his parents. They were going to have to be responsible for a grown autistic man who 9 times out of 10 was never going to go out here and go get a job, a career, have a family. And maybe somebody said, I don't want to be glued to the hip with a grown autistic son. I want my freedom. I want to go places. I want to travel. I want to do things. I don't want to have to make provisions for a 25-year-old autistic man. Just a thought. Just a thought. Exactly. People are taking advantage of Seth. How did they know somebody was a sexual offender, Donna? How did somebody know there was a sexual offender? Help me understand. So let me ask you all this, because I'm going to put it on my page, on my community page. How do you all feel about this rant from Seth Rogers? And what is to become of this case? Lord Jesus and me. Did everybody in the chat hear that rant? Is there anybody in the chat that did not hear it? Anybody just coming in? Somebody in the chat said he apologized or took it back or something. It was all over the media. I didn't hear nothing about it, Donna. I ain't seen none of that in none of the articles I pulled up in the past month. I haven't seen nothing about a sexual offender helping. Because I've gone into YouTube, in the Google search this week pertaining to Sebastian. Because I always look for an update, usually before I go live. Let me see what I pull up now. What did I? Not my damn earbuds die. Okay. Well, I did not Well, I guess some of you don't believe the boy's alive. That was the Underwater Brothers recovery. The guy running from Illinois is an SA. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Now, I will understand that. I would not want somebody working on the case that's a pedophile. I understand that. I totally understand that. He's not supposed to be working around no children and stuff anyway. Inbox. Anybody in the chat on IG? Anybody? Anybody out there? I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Jesus. Well, let's go over here to Facebook and see what they talking about. Y'all ain't. I have no clue how these people find this stuff, but he was originally from Florida and he was under a different name. I cannot remember his name. If I find it, I'll get it. Sorry, Queen, I didn't hear the whole rant from Seth. Oh, Melissa said she didn't hear it. Anybody in the chat on Instagram? Is there anybody in the chat or listening to this live stream on Instagram? Because I don't have the StreamYard up. I'm on a live feed through YouTube, through the YouTube app. Okay, hold on. One second, everybody.
Individual would sit there and lie to my face and then sit there and put out lies to begin with. And now you want to go out there whenever I'm in a podcast or whatnot, and nothing about Sebastian. No, nothing about my son. All about Chloe and her little clique. When I asked her to step back, she took almost all the surgeries with them. And now people are like, oh, it was like a slap to my face. They don't know why I asked her to step back. But I asked her to step back because she's a private investigator trying to be a SAR person. You need to get out of the field and get back to doing private investigation, which she wasn't doing. She wanted to vet everybody. Like everybody, I want to know, what size foot they were when they were born. And it's like, I will accept help from anybody to find my son. And people are taking my good-hearted nature and just trampling all over it, and it's going to bring out the negative part of me that don't give a flying. Smile down and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
Trevor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy?
Wow.
And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh,
Step.
really hoping find Sebastian doing this.
Hey, why you sitting there changing your face? Hey, what, can't spend the time looking for summer no more, right? You want to see where I'm at? You see where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you on this panel right now? Don't you ever, and I will let this be publicly known, you, Chloe, your whole team does not have my blessing to use my name or my son's name to ask people to search on their property like you have a contract with me. Trevor, you need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it because if I
Is it because if I recall, I didn't ask you to respond.
Perspective, you a mess.
Boy. This is my son, not yours. My son,
Damn.
not yours. My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to shut literally. This is my goddamn son.
Seth gone. What the hell? That's Smiley's World or something. Girl, you might need to let YouTube take a break too. You need a break too on YouTube, homegirl. Everybody need to sit down. Just sit on down. Let's hear from my boyfriend in Canada. I can't with these
the
people.
local news channel called them out publicly for bringing out the same information that was talked about last month in regards to.
I can't, Jesus. I named him.
That particular
I gave him the name.
after
Woo,
midnight,
damn.
and he's on surveillance.
He gonna have a
We
stroke.
got these two
Shit.
yesers. It's a carbon copy of
What the hell?
other hustlers that are known to the community.
Oh,
Yes.
I can't. Perspective, please. You're killing me.
We know about them. It's funny. They're entertaining to watch, and they really love the limelight. They're up there on TikTok talking about how much they love each other and how much they trust each other's word. It is some sickening things, but I didn't want to jump too quickly and release a video because I was enjoying what other people were saying about it. It's way too much. For example, JLR. Did you see that Chris Proudfoot? JLR. That's me being clappy hands. I've been listening to too much Chris Proudfoot interview.
You sure have. AB all up in it too. Damn. Oh, Satan, I can't.
A doctor of her craft. She eats master's degrees. She got so many of them.
Let me say this. Hell's Gate opened up. Did you hear what I said? That's why I put that in the title. When I saw that clip, I said, Seth is 2 minutes from taking off like a damn drone. Golly. What in the hell? Yeah. But Flora, there's a price to pay. Always remember that. When you go into the belly of the beast, you climb your ass in there, you may not be able to climb your ass out. You always got to remember that. Because I'm trying to figure out who was on that panel first. Trevor or Seth? Did she know Seth had a problem with Trevor? Because it seems, I don't know, just something's off. So who was on the panel first? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everything happens for a reason. In all these cases, God is saving these children, exposing the parents. Yeah, exactly. As I said, sacrificing a lamb for a lamb. perhaps Sebastian was sacrificed to save Faith, so Faith wouldn't have to deal with Christopher Proudfoot and become another victim of physical, mental abuse. Because you're not going to make me believe he cared for Faith. The way Nina talked, I believed her story. And she's got to own her part too, allowing this monster into her circle with her small children before she had Faith. Many people will look at her and say, damn, you knew Christopher Proudfoot was fucked up and you still messed around with him and dated him and then you had a baby with him. And he let you know he did not want Faith. So that was fucked up when he lured her down here to Tennessee and had his family, go gangster on her. I would have slipped out with my kids. I'd have left that motherfucker. But see, that's the whole point. She didn't know why he lured her here. He set her up. So you think about that. A man who didn't want the little girl, a man who abused small children, a man who lured his wife down here to take her child. What else are you capable of? You all better pay attention. What else is Christopher Proudfoot capable of? And if you believe Nina's story, then you know he's capable of anything. That's just a spoken word.
Below her while she's had to get another room. She had some things to say about it, which were interesting this morning. They're driving people nuts. JLR was live, talking about some people really side-eyeing Tony Mathis up in Facebook. Some of the responses under these announcements. This guy is something else. He makes me laugh. I'm not even offended anymore. When he first came along, because you're so emotionally tied to the situation, Seth brings this guy in. He's trying to make himself, really what he's saying, what he's trying to do is make himself a new little impromptu clip, okay? Like a wrestling clip. That's fine, you can do and do whatever it is that you want. It's bizarre to me that you're doing this in light of supposed to be searching for your son. You can't figure out what to do with a bunch of money to set up a trust. All you have to do is call your bank and drop off beside some papers, son. Or redirect some money. You don't have to pass a test, in economics.
Well, I agree with that. All you have
to do is Google it. We live in a great time. Seth Rogers gets up in front of the camera on the Pascal show and delivers to the audience an epic guilt trip. It's anything but genuine. With the intention of, gathering donations and other things. I don't trust Seth. I don't think he had anything to do with his son going missing at this point in time. However, he's real close to that line. That has to do, anytime that you recognize that there's a conspiracy up, well, let's get the entire truth, and that truth is probably going to surprise you and shock you. I don't want to put it on him. I don't think that he did anything. I think that he's a weak man. He's a pussy for letting the Proudfoots manipulate the piss out of him for his entire life. How much of that is really factual? Because to me, it's all voluntary. For all I know, they might be having threesomes every night in bed.
Ooh. A.B. Lord have mercy.
They both love motorcycles, and they both adhere to this fictional code of whatever little gang that these guys dreamt up, binded by this incident, because, of course, capital murder charges here. And at the end of it, he's got this moron third party so early, just a couple of months after the disappearance, a PR man. Like they're famous and they're expecting a long road ahead of them. Right? They're anticipating a long road ahead of having to deal with interviews and updates, because that's what you need to do if you're trying to skirt the law. It's unnecessary if you're in a genuine situation, but it's necessary if you're actively trying to conspire to cover up wrongdoing up until that point for a massive payday at the end. The only thing Seth has done in front of the camera has been awfully suspicious. And I'm not trying to go out of my way to pick on Seth by any means. You can be the judge. But when you've got a person like Tony Mathis beside you doing the speaking for you and you're endorsing all of his messages, one, mistakes are going to be made. Seth, let me tell you something. You just got rid of Chloe for coming up. First of all, they were right. They had to do something with that because, one, Let me just tell you, you're a private investigator. Why are you up there doing your own thing at that point in time, talking about the case? What they did is really suck you into what is otherwise referred to as a confidentiality agreement with that PI. You should have disclosed that beforehand. Something tells me, see, here's the problem. Because when these well-intentioned private investigators go to Seth and offer their services free of charge, just, you know, hey, I'm really motivated by being here in this case in your plate right now. It's the PIs that get jerked around in that sense, because Seth in that circumstance is really careful about who he lets around. He's going to want, probably, hopefully, well, I shouldn't say that, but he has to be careful of who he lets around. Because, of course, he has a questioned history about his relationship with an underage teenager who is Katie, who's allegedly had 7 abortions, all pre-adult. And that's going to come back and it's going to haunt Seth. That's why he needs a PR guy, because he sees the writing on the wall when we understand who it is that we're talking about here. What is the person, like, who is this Seth Rogers? Old Mommy's championing these cause. That tells me we've got a real live one on our hands. Old Seth, he's in his 40s, he can't speak for himself. Something tells me we're dealing with an oddball. So you let Chloe go, and you have Seth doing what Chloe was doing times 1,000. Spreading disinformation on your behalf. The way that he's talking about the case is an absolute joke. And I wouldn't allow you around the investigation to tell you anything, Seth. I don't even trust that you were a father to this boy every day, considering the abusive lifestyle and environment he was living in. And you've got Seth worried about all the bad things he's saying about the Proudfoots. Bye-bye trust. That just threw out the window. So you fire this Chloe, tell her not to come back for not only the exact thing that your new PR guy is doing, and worse, but he's damaged your credibility with the media and the police. And you've got your PR guy turning around and at his own defense, because he didn't like being called out by Nick Barris this morning, he has to try to put it back on. You're not even local. Nick Barris is local, right? You're trying to put pressure on from the father. How do you know this father isn't just as abusive as Chris Proudfoot? Abuse seems to be the flavor of the day around this group, Tony. But probably that's why you're included. I wouldn't trust Tony around a kid. Look at him. Look what he's doing.
Offered to assist me with it. God send somebody.
That's what's up. Now, and I love that there is going to be this new alliance. You got Tony coming through, and he's going to speak on behalf of the case, because I know that you have a lot going on for yourself right now, Seth. I mean, as far as just being on there, boots on the ground, trying to find Sebastian right now, there's a lot going on. You know, you're traveling quite a bit. There's a lot of chaos, and there's got to be someone who can actually be connected to the media while you go out and do what you need to do. So, Tony, welcome to the search. Welcome to the story. How's it been so far?
Wait a second.
Let me stop right there. Well, Mr. Pascal, I can't think what I'm going to say. Seth's got to go back to work, so what are you talking about? After doing what? He ain't supposed to be out here doing anything. I think Seth wants to do more, but he knows he needs to work the job to pay bills. Because that was something he said about Chloe or whomever wasn't doing their job. He had to go vet this, vet that, vet these people, go search for leads, go up, check up on the leads. But that was her job. And he was saying she wasn't doing that, wasn't following through, whatever. Well, then that means you probably don't need anybody working for you. That's how I look at it. If you're going to be hard to please, you don't like the way people are doing things, you possibly need to go do it yourself. Because really, you coming on YouTube to talk on Smiley's panel or whomever, that defeats the purpose of having Tony. Tony's all the way at TikTok. You walking around here talking to her on a live stream. Don't know if you came up first or Trevor was up first. This is bad. Some people argue, well, he needs to speak for himself. He don't need Tony. I just assumed he hired Tony because he knew he was going back to work and he wasn't going to have anybody to be, out here on the ground while he's on a job. I don't know his hours. I don't know his shift. So I'm just assuming. I don't know. Take the polls, everybody. Should Seth stay off YouTube? 9 votes. 89% yes. 11% no. Flora says, I want all these dodo birds. Well, look, Florida, they ain't about to stop, so you got your wish. Because Seth, he love YouTube. He already told people he like YouTube. It's the only app I have. I don't have Facebook. I don't have social media. So he been watching YouTube, I guess, before his son went missing. And he watching the live streams, the shorts. He looking at what people are saying about him, the Proudfoots. He on it now. I don't see him stopping. I don't see him stop being on YouTube. The fact that he was on the Smiley World show, he is not about to stop being on YouTube. So really, he don't need Mr. Mathis. If you're going to be jumping on panels, still talking, ranting and raving, cussing people out, threatening folks about what they need to do, now you acting like Mr. Proudfoot. You two are starting to look kind of alike. The only thing you ain't done is talk bad about your son. I'm just saying. Damn. Shut up, Tito.
Listen, how come it doesn't apply to old Seth too? Didn't the cops tell Chris and Katie just to sit down and not worry? Everybody everybody can take care of the search. You guys need you.
I never had a husband, honey.
With this whole mess right now.
It's been good. Seth and I have just,
you wish I was married.
I've had some good conversations with him. I've also had some good conversations.
That's a dodo bird.
How many times do you think Tony Mathis touches himself in that Dallas Cowboys wall of his? Oh, but you flip that in.
I know why your husband left you. And you are patrolling YouTube chats.
My goal was initially was to try to bring everybody together and limit some of the drama that had been out there in the social media.
The drama. You're gonna limit the drama. You should go look at what this Fruitcake has been doing the last couple of nights on his new TikTok channel. It's ridiculous.
It's as you say.
Right.
And simply want to help get everybody redirected and find some action. So again, I've had a lot of good conversations with Seth. I've had good conversations with Chris and Katie, and we're not completely done.
Look, there's Seth. You and you guys don't look good up there on the internet, so on my screen right now. Why don't you let me do the talking for you? Yeah. See what I can come up with now. Let's go have a look. So I ask you this. Look at the things that we all find so intriguing. And we'll call it, whether you be a true crime aficionado, a first-time viewer, or somebody who's interested in just this particular case, of all of the things that are available to you publicly just by taking a look at the scenario as a whole, imagine the information that's available to law enforcement. They're going to have a whole lot more, considering they were engaged with them since, I will call it, that first particular day after the report. You can't tell me at this point in time that it's not a blanket term. It's an investigation, we'll call it. They don't have to say anything else, especially when they've been provided a falsehood. If they've been gaslit, like we suspect is occurring at this moment, the thing that you're going to do from a law enforcement standpoint is just maintain the status quo. You're going to keep on keeping on. You're going to have that smile on your face. You're not going to sacrifice any of your relationships in that matter with any of the people involved, just for the sake of updating people so you can be satisfied in your mind. I want to read a couple of these comments that JLR wrote in response to what Tony said this morning.
This is on Tony Mathis's post. Tony Mathis, do you really think you can insert yourself in this case, stir up drama, and start throwing shade at Sumner County Sheriff's Office and a local reporter and not be criticized for it? LE does not have to tell the public anything. They are talking with the Proudfoots regularly. Why does Seth not think they are talking to him? Could it be that he has not cooperated with him which he has admitted to, and he continues to get on all these lives and stirs up trouble. Stephen Crabtree is a good kid, but he has aligned himself with you and Seth. That was a big mistake. People know the truth, knew you and Stephen were not.
For those of you from the Summer Wells case, Stephen Crabtree is like 423 Chase. Do you remember Bradley Allen Wishing?
On that live. You didn't even know where Katie's mom lived. And talk about stirring up drama. That was drama on steroids. You were also on there telling people that you had to get permission to tell a story about Katie that would really shock them. How about this story?
Right. You just used that same thing to dismiss or ask Chloe not to participate in the investigation within your immediate circle again. Listen, if you're not going to do my bidding, there ain't no use of you being here.
Yeah. Seth seems contradictory. You want help, but then you want to tell the help how to help. You can't orchestrate everything. A PI should have his or her own way of navigating. That's their job, is to do what you can't do, allegedly. So you should have let her do her job, because every PI, I'm assuming, would have his or her own way of doing things. And that would be a problem if you're intervening and you're trying to tell me how to do my job. And if I have experience in my job, I don't know if Chloe has experience or not, but if I have experience in my job, I'm well recommended, then obviously I know what I'm doing, allegedly. So once again, everything's about perception. Is Seth Rogers losing it? 82% says yes. 18% no. Take the poll. 50-some people watching, they only got 18 votes on the last poll. Come on, you guys. The way he talked to Trevor was so uncalled for. He was acting exactly like Chris Proudfoot. Losing it, or now we hear his true self? Maybe both, allegedly. Yes, I agree. Probably both. You don't really know Seth. You don't know the Proudfoots. You don't know any of these people. This is why you can't be shocked. And I think it's interesting that nobody on YouTube is addressing to Seth these allegations of him and Katie. You're going to hear that during this live stream with Mr. AB. Abortions, don't know where that's coming from. Who put that out there? See, I don't follow these peoples. I don't follow them from channel to channel, network to network. I don't have that kind of time. I just can't do it. So, did she have abortions by him? Where's that coming from? Seth, did you have sex with an underage Katie Proudfoot? Mr. Pascal, you didn't ask that question the other night on your YouTube. Oh, because you were good with him. You ain't good with him. I'm sure T-Rev didn't ask that question either, because you all would be ashamed to ask him, because you know if you asked him if he had sex with Katie underage, he wouldn't come back on your channel. Bingo card. Break it down, Queen. Say it again, Queen, because somebody in the back fell asleep. You YouTubers refuse to talk to Seth about the underage. It's called pedophilia. I don't want to lose him as my contact. He's good for my channel. Really, Seth is good for you all's PR, is it not? I'm not hating. I'm just calling a spade a spade. See, you can't dance around the subject. Or what they say, dancing with the devil. You want to ask Seth certain things, but you don't want to ask him what other people are talking about, such as him sleeping with a little girl. Oops. I'm going to ask Seth everything but that question. So then you're really not doing due diligence. Because why not just keep it real? Seth, I like you, but I got to ask you about Katie Proudfoot. Did you date her when she was a child? I'd have asked him before bringing him on the panel so he wouldn't be caught off guard. But if he was on Good Morning America or somewhere else, oh, you think they wouldn't have came out the gate with that question? They don't give a damn. Because they're about ratings too. Stay woke. Ronnie. Okay, thank you, Donna. So all you YouTubers are still talking to Seth. Are any of you going to ask him about dating an underage Katie Proudfoot? Because who put that out in the first place? About the abortions allegedly. Because I'm getting all this off of AB's channel. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just trying to understand what's the purpose of these interviews and letting Seth and Tony talk? Tony's not addressing it. How about that? You the PR and you ain't even addressing it. Because you ain't going to address it. You like old defense lawyer. I ain't bringing that up. I ain't bringing that up. I ain't going to have Seth cussing me out. And what's this nonsense about 2,500? You need 2,500 to do what, Tony? Just asking.
Excuse me. So as I was saying, Chloe was asked to leave for just what she's describing in this post.
You are working for someone who engaged in knowledge with a 14-year-old and he was 9 years older. Ask him who that 14-year-old was when she had that abortion the first time before getting pregnant, the second time before she was 18. Go ahead and block me for telling the truth. Or let's see if you really are about the truth or if you are in this because you are case chasing.
Wow.
I know far more about
JLR, he's trying to get beat up.
Prophets. And guess what? All this BS and mob theories that people are coming up with.
That JLR, he know he's a little messy fucker too. You gonna fuck around and keep on. I'm surprised you still walk around anyway from all that shit you did down there in Florida. When I found out that was him, when we talked about Summer Wells many years ago, and I heard him talking one day, I said, damn, that sounds like that dude. That sounds like somebody that was outside the laundry's house. And somebody said, oh yeah, that's that guy. He be on YouTube. I said, oh my God. He was out there cussing and hollering with a bullhorn. I said, oh yeah, I'd have whooped his ass. I don't give a damn about Roberta. You are not about to be outside my house with no damn bullhorn. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't give a damn about you being a YouTuber or nobody else. If you don't get the fuck off my lawn, see, that's what people don't understand. You are violating protocol. You cannot just go up on people's property, hooping and hollering and banging on doors and telling somebody they need to talk to you. You're a YouTuber. You need to check yourself. That's what I didn't care about him. When I realized he was on YouTube, I said, oh no, I can't respect nobody like this because I can't understand how you think you have the right to just go up on somebody's property with a bullhorn. You out here banging on the sister door. You don't have a right to do that. And she was stupid. She stood out there answering all them questions with him and Betty. I thought, girl, you a fool. Because they wouldn't have been in my damn doorstep. You would have got a rifle right between both of your motherfucking eyes. Now you come back. The law says I can invite your ass in. And that been all she wrote. Because you know Florida's a stand your ground state. I don't believe in all that type of nonsense because that's how people end up dead. Running around stalking people and hollering and screaming and stuff. You got to know your place. And a lot of people don't know that. And yet people just think because they're a YouTuber, they can just go harass people and get in their inbox and go on their property and follow them around. It's just one YouTube after the other. First it was them with the laundries. Then they come up here fucking around with Summer Wells and that other bitch that was up here, she running over there to the job, to Don Wells' job. I mean, y'all just doing the most. And you don't really think that you can get yourself hurt like that. That lets me know you don't care about yourself. Because I got enough sense that if I was bringing you all content, I'm not going to risk my life to bring you no content. You know, it's just like when I went out there to the country, to that halfway house. I made sure to be yards away from that house when I filmed. Because anybody could have seen me standing there with a camera talking and being like, what's that black woman doing standing over there with that camera? And somebody could have been bold enough to walk down their driveway and walk over there where I was. But you think I would have kept standing there while they walking towards? Because I got enough sense to know. They see me filming. Somebody decided to start walking down the driveway because it's a long driveway. I got enough time to get in my car and get ghost. You don't meet the enemy at the gate. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't get it. Is Seth losing it? 84% says yes. How does it not strike anybody funny that this Tony guy does something with cranes? He's some kind of crane worker, and that's exactly what Chris that cannot be coincidental. Well, I found that interesting too, Donna, the other day when I heard that. That's funny you should mention that because I sure thought that the other day myself.
True. They have not done anything.
Very true.
Well, I think they did. I think this person is probably.
This person is not. But the right about Tony, which tells you
a powerful sympathizer here and is calling out Seth. And neither Bauer Sox. All these lies and accusing Katie, Chris, and/or Bauer Sox of having done anything to Sebastian is not helping at all. The people that care are out spreading the word, sharing flyers, participating in searches, and finding a way to support all the parents.
So, in a sense, what you're reading there, even from the opposite camp, the opposite end of that spectrum, they're calling out Tony for really being contradictory and doing the same things that Seth was complaining about and fired Chloe for, or asked her to leave. What have you?
Probably does.
They judge people by their criminal records, as some of you guys know. I have a criminal record. I have a TikTok. Now check this out right here. Check this.
We got information today that, last night we got information that Sebastian was actually.
Oh, we're going to do one of those freeze modes again. Here, let me redo it right here. We're going to do it right here. This is better. I got revealed some bombshell.
We got information today that, last night we got information that Sebastian was actually communicating with Katie's mom the night before he went missing. We got information from law enforcement today that there was actual footage of Sebastian on the 26th, and we thought that the last footage they had was on the 25th, so we know now they've got additional footage. The biggest thing, I think, is that we got information from them that they had a theory the first 72 hours, and after 72 hours, that theory took a 180-degree turn, and that's what I think was.
Is Sebastian alive?
It's real logic there, son.
This information that Mr. Crabtree put out, Steven, about the boy being seen, he misunderstood what the detective told him, which I don't understand how you could have misunderstood. You're sitting right there talking to him, if indeed you had the conversation. I read you Facebook posts from Find Sebastian's group where people were asking their questions. Did he really talk to a detective? So, Mr. Crabtree, Queen gonna ask you, did you really talk to him or you just making this shit up? Because I'm trying to understand how you can't understand somebody saying, yes, we have footage after the 26th. No, we don't have footage after the 26th. Yes, we have footage of him. And you just threw that in there yourself. I don't know. Are you trying to get attention too? You clout chasing? You hearing this commentary, somebody speaking highly of him? Well, that's one person's opinion. I don't know him. So I don't know who he is and what he's got going on. But I have seen with true crime, especially with the West case, all them dirty ass California folks, them some dirty heathens out there. I have never seen a group of people, YouTubers, just as jacked up as the adoptive family and the biological family. They all were evenly yoked out there in California. I had never seen such a disaster in all my life pertaining to a true crime story besides Camille McKinney. So I've talked about Camille McKinney. That story was ghetto ratchet. Drug addicts kidnapping a child out the projects, dumping her in a landfill after drugging her and sexually assaulting her. Then you go to the West case. A mother who never wanted to work, hold her own, abused both her boys taken from her, then she want to sue the state because she lost custody of her kids. Well, you didn't do your damn job. Then you had all them old dust-ass YouTubers on the ground. Most of them look like dope addicts. Lying, making up stuff. Oh, yeah, we saw the boys at the mall and just making up shit for content. Then here comes Summer Wells missing. Everybody and their mama jumping out of helicopters. And they just as ratchet. The YouTubers just as ratchet as the Wells. Now, fast forward. Almost, 2.5 years later, Sebastian Rogers. It's the same bullshit. Everybody want to be seen. Everybody want to be important. You got dog handlers, not dog handlers. PIs ain't the PI. YouTubers giving out the wrong information. Tony, you should have vetted that information. Why would you go repeat it yourself? I wouldn't have repeated it. That the child was seen on 26. You supposed to say, who told you that? What's his name? Oh, the detective. Detective who? Oh, well, let me go holler at him. And I'd have left him a message. Hey, this is Tony Mathis. I'm the PR for Seth Rogers. I was wondering, do you have proof of life after the 26th, on the 26th? Damn, you the PR. You supposed to have been the one putting that out any damn way. I wouldn't have repeated it. Now that Crabtree boy wanted to repeat it, that's on him. But I wouldn't have repeated it. And I would have never told people on a live stream or Facebook page, oh, we've got confirmation or we got information that the boy was seen on the 26th and after the 26th. I would have never repeated that. So you're not doing your damn job either. All y'all doing too damn much. Is Sebastian alive? 78% says no. 11% not sure. 11% yes. Take the polls. Y'all not even taking the polls. Right. Same YouTubers. You're right with that mess. Same whores.
You know, all that speculation is bringing a little bit too much negativity to Seth's life right now. So who's this guy? Who's this guy sharing his opinion out to a whole panel of God knows who? Sorry, you have to witness this, friends.
Biggest information.
What do you think is the biggest information? Which part do you think is the biggest information? The biggest new information? Tony, sorry, I missed that.
Bring
Body. Because we went back.
The biggest new information is Tony being brought in to white knight for the bio father in all of this. Who's enabled the abuse. If Sebastian told everybody at school to the point that they had to do something, why wouldn't old Seth have said something to CPS? Why wouldn't he have said
Exactly.
that? Why wouldn't he have?
Exactly. Thank you, AB. That is the reason why I made this video tonight. It's from this live stream. Seth, why did you not know anything about your child being abused by the Proudfoots? Why was Seth not contacted by CPS, by the school, by Katie Proudfoot? Stay woke. Something is off here. Are we getting the truth from Seth Rogers? You all better pay attention. What if all along he has known about his child being whooped by Christopher Proudfoot? He's known about the incident at the school. He knows the child was unhappy. He knew the child didn't like going back. Oh well, tough cookies.
That public, that way, old Chris and Katie have no way to operate around. You bring it out in public. And then you're going to wait until the end of all of this school year because his academic credentials are just...
Say it, AB. Say it.
Like that.
Say it. Come on, preach.
When we looked at the information, it said that the latest date was on the 26th, somewhere on Court Drive, or wherever, the street name, not the house, not that location, which is where we started the question. There has to be some type of footage after the house, or for them to say that it was somewhere on
CPI poster. I said it from the beginning. It says he was last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court. I made like 37 videos about this. I knew they had fucking footage of him. I knew it.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Okay.
These guys are weird too. Like even for males, watching YouTube, hey buddy, how you doing? You guys making gay porno on the side?
Ooh, that's nasty.
I'm assuming, folks, Tony Mathis got this information from this Crabtree guy that is also in the mix.
AB, now that's just nasty. Not porn. I'm dead, Satan, I'm dead. Oh, AB, that's nasty. Y'all can't never talk about Queen. Oh, Lord. Has Seth been lying about Seb's abuse by Proudfoots? Because I think Seth may know more. I could be wrong. But as AB said, why were these people not reaching out to you? Department of Human Services, the schoolhouse, Katie Proudfoot. Why is she not calling you to tell you, hey, I just want to let you know he went and told somebody that we were whooping him, and I wanted you to find out, woo, woo, woo. Ain't nobody calling Seth Rogers. Don't you find that peculiar? And who's going to tell us the truth? That Seth knew some of this nonsense, but he's not admitting it. He's playing dumb for YouTube. I don't know. It's just strange that this man knows nothing about his child. But then you wait and go on TV and say, oh, yeah, he told me he didn't want to go home. You tell Court TV, yeah, he told me he didn't want to go home. Okay, well, if he didn't want to go home, why the fuck was he still living there? See, all this is relevant, okay? It is relevant because the child is missing. No way you can say it's not relevant. It is relevant. A whole kid, a whole body is missing. So it's relevant. And I just can't understand why the state didn't call his father to say, hey, we got an investigation going on. Just wanted to let you know. Don't know if your ex-wife told you. So Katie Proudfoot, Christopher, why didn't you call him to say, hey, CPS has made a visit. Somebody said we're abusing the kid. Then we got the incident about the pressure washer. You didn't tell him about that either. And now all of a sudden the child missing. Okay. Because this is the typical MO of abused children. The ball is dropped by parents, relatives, friends, neighbors, school, and poof, voila, the child is missing or the child is found dead. And that's not fiction. Most children who are abused, the state has been called on the caretaker. And what are the odds? Ding, 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 ding. It's the same MO with Sebastian Rogers. And now he's missing. And don't nobody know anything. And then empty the trash. Oh, my lights were off. We don't leave those lights on. Do you have motion sensors? Oh, no, we don't have motion sensors. Did you have the floodlights on? Oh, no, we didn't have the floodlights on either. Are you lying to me? Hell yeah, Nancy Grace.
And we talked about it yesterday.
Say
we talked
what?
about these new bombshell allegations because that has
This Stephen Crabtree dude, people are just giving him and being nice.
Yes,
sick of their
exactly.
own channels.
Exactly.
What people are really saying behind the scenes, away from their uploads.
never been revealed. Footage on the 26th that Sebastian.
All you have to do is listen to this Stephen Crabtree for about 3 minutes. 3 minutes to know that he's trying to hustle an audience.
Check out AB's video. Seth Rogers, PR man's latest antics indicate self-seeking motivations. Great points, AB. Seth, why didn't you know anything about your child? Help us understand. You admit on a national broadcast that you knew your child did not want to be at that house with the Proudfoots, and yet you didn't tell us why. You didn't tell us what you asked the child. You didn't tell us the child's response. Court TV, you were supposed to ask. Come on, Vinny Politan, let's get with it. Well, what did he say, sir? Did you ask him why he didn't want to stay there? What was his response? Did you talk to Katie and Chris? What did they say? Nothing. Just left the whole fucking comment open. And that's all you've seen pertaining to Seth Rogers. Open-ended content. So yeah, I have a problem with Seth. I gave this motherfucker a pass in the beginning, but I can't continue to give him a pass. You are not in tune with your child, or you are playing dumb. Take your pick. Which is it? Has Seth been lying about the abuse of his boy child by the Proudfoots? 36% yes, 18% no, 45% not sure. That ain't good. 11 votes and 45% of you are not sure. There's something not right here. I don't know if he's just oblivious. He didn't want to rock the boat with Katie and Christopher. He wanted to stay in good with them. I don't know, because that's the role he played when he came out to the public. But it was sad to see this man get on court TV and tell them and the world he didn't know how the Proudfoots felt about his child until he watched the live streams. And as he said recently, my eyes are open. You know, basically saying he woke. That's what he told Pascal. Well, it's kind of late to be woke. The child's missing now. And you got to pray to Jesus he's alive. And I just don't see somebody taking him. I don't. I just don't see it. Amber Alert, his face is everywhere. For what? You never gonna let him outside, so you keeping him inside for what? Sexual purposes. Because those are usually the reasons that people kidnap children who can walk and talk. Sexual purposes. And I could see this child talking back, fighting back. Come on now. Where's the boy? Who holds the key to the knowledge of Sebastian Rogers? Where's this investigation going? Does Ellie have suspects in this case? Do they believe the child ran off? Do they believe the child was lured by a classmate, a neighbor, an adult? Somebody was watching the kid out and about. No sign of break-in, so you can't believe that. No doors were jimmied, no windows were broken, no screens were cut. He just walked out, but yet you don't really show a visual of him walking to the trash can, just a dark figure. So then where's the footage that he walked out the front door? Checkmate. I tell you, ain't nobody paying attention. You can't have one without the other. Exactly. No reward, no updates. Is it possible that there is no updates because police have an idea that the child is not alive? Say, well, there is no reward because they know he's not alive. What does Ellie have pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? Do they have an idea that there is foul play? They do have suspects, but they do not have the proof to bring forward an arrest. Let's ask that question, and I'm going to check out of here. Yeah, and no video footage of the child, which is strange, because I would assume that means Texas Roadhouse as well. Now, Seth says there's proof of life at the Roadhouse, but you don't hear law enforcement saying, oh, the last time we saw video footage is of him leaving the Roadhouse with his mother. I want to hear that from the police. I don't want to hear that from Seth. I don't want to hear that from Seth. I want to hear it from the police. Let's take this poll, and then I want to check out of here, everybody. Been on 2 hours. Lord have mercy. Does the law have suspects in the disappearance of this young boy? We will see, Donna. They were off because they turned them off. That's why. You've been leaving the lights on, and why would you have them off the night he goes missing? This is why I tell you, you have to pay attention to everything. It's all suspect. Your lights are usually on, but they off the night the child's missing. Dark figure going to enter the trash, but no definitive visual that it's Sebastian Rogers. Nobody broke into the house, but he walked away or he was lured away. No alarm on your house, but you work for a security system. You also have expertise in security, blah, 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 whatever the hell she did in the military. Make it make sense. You got nice cars, trucks, campers, but you don't have an ADT, you don't have an ADT on. But allegedly somebody said you have surveillance inside of the house so you can see what he's doing in the night. Well, if you could see what he's doing in the night, that means you would have known if he walked out the door. So is that why you told the police and told the news, oh yeah, he walked out? Because you saw him walk out? Well, wouldn't you say that in the news broadcast? Hey, we have cameras inside the house too. I saw him walk out the front door when I got up and I couldn't find him. So then I said, oh, let me go look at my security cameras. Sebastian walked out. He walked out the back door, the front door. Help me understand, Katie. Stop playing these fucking reindeer games. So let me guess, the cameras weren't working inside the house either. Which is it? Make it make sense. Say it again. If you have cameras inside of your house to watch your house, your son, then you would know if he walked out or not. Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot. So you put your foot in your mouth on that commentary. So as Flora says, keep letting them talk. I'm already in tune to what's going on. And I try not to say who I think did what when it comes to unaliving a person in a story, but it's sure looking that way here. Because these people are just too eager to fly the coop, talk on YouTube, and this is just not the behavior of people who are grieving the loss of a missing person. They don't act like he's missing. They don't talk like he's missing. They talk like he's dead. And that's my synopsis of the Proudfoots. Katie won't talk about him. She don't go to YouTube talking about him. She ain't been to the news again to talk about him. There have been no updates about the case. Just a bunch of people hee-hawing ass around wanting attention. But as I've told you before, chaos breeds chaos. So this is expected. All this gossip and making up shit. You have a lot of lonely people out here who want to be a part of something because they have lonely lives. That is why they can watch YouTube endlessly. Channel hop, chat hop, Facebook hop. Nothing to do. And as the scripture says, or as old folks say, idle mind is the devil's workshop. It is. This YouTube is detrimental. Really, it's designed really for the weak. And some of you may get offended, but it's true. You have a weak mind, you have a weak spirit, YouTube can be your best friend. Because you will sit up and believe anything somebody tell you, anything a person feeds you, YouTube is good for you. Because a lot of people vet on YouTube all fucking day. Well, he said this on this channel, he said this in the chat, and he said, so what, they said it. Damn. If the motherfucker told you he flew home on a flying saucer, you gonna go repeat that? Well, he said the flying saucer took him 5 blocks and then he jumped off. Well, I'll be damned. So that means you believe unicorns can fly, and on Tuesdays they wear capes. The hell out of here. 72% says yes, 6% no, 22% not sure. LE has suspects. Who are the suspects? Who are the suspects in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? Yeah, these people are mentally ill. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what they're doing on YouTube. I don't care what they're saying. I just want to find Sebastian. Okay. Damn, get a grip. Oh my gosh, he was riding on a horse and it took him to the pond. I have never seen people who just ride on anything a person says. Y'all rode that pond down. You wrote the autism and the water down. Now 2.5 months later, Seth decides to tell us he can run. He can outrun his mommy. You all are talking about a 5-mile radius. Well, by golly, he can run past there. Well, hell, he'd be tired at some point, Seth. And I would assume he'd be thirsty. So your son would run 5 miles or more and wouldn't think to go knock on somebody's door? Because that Christopher Proudfoot said he liked to be up in people's face. So that means I'm assuming he could talk. So a talker can't knock on the door. Help! Help! Help me! Help me! They're trying to hurt me! Help me, please! Help me! Help me! My mommy and daddy trying to hurt me! Please help me! Help me! Help me! The hell is going on here? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. 2.5 months later, Seth decides to tell us his son is a runner. I said to myself, what in the hell am I listening to? So now he can run. So I say by next week, you're going to tell me he can fly. And I'm not trying to be funny, but why didn't you say that earlier? Oh, he could have gone past 5 miles radius. He likes to run. So then somebody will say, well, if he likes to run, did he ever take off running? Because let Katie tell it, he didn't wander off. So then now you got to change it. Oh, he's not a walker, he's a runner. So did the boy run off? How about that? 58% thinks Ellie has suspects. Who are the suspects? I find it awfully strange you all want to vote on this question and not the other ones. What is going on? Okay, Melissa, I own Pluto too. Jesus wept. Strange, strange, strange story. Did the boy run off? Was he in danger that night? That morning? Was Mr. Proudfoot in the area, at the house? Can somebody put Christopher Proudfoot at the house on the 25th or early morning 26th? Do we even have proof that the child made it home? No, we do not. No surveillance. That's what the news said 2 weeks ago. There's no surveillance of the boy. So that means he didn't walk out, run out, didn't go to school, didn't do nothing. Monday morning. Katie, where's your son? Because you hold the key. You and Candace Bly hold the key to your children. That's what I'm looking to hear next. Katie is talking to Candace Bly. Christopher Proudfoot is talking to Candace. Y'all done swap numbers. Maybe y'all should get on a live stream together. That would be real interesting. It's the Proudfoots and the Wells Show, starring Christopher Proudfoot and Donna Wells. In this first hour, we will see if these two families will tell us the truth about where their children are. Christopher, where is your stepson? I don't know. I think he got on an airplane. Mr. Wells, where is your daughter? I don't know. She could have been eaten by a bear or a coyote. I think she was human trafficked. Just a bunch of bullshit. Well, yeah, they do lead to her. And some people need to get their thumb out their ass and accept that. She's the last one with the child. And I think something was strange, interesting rather. Smiley was going back and forth with Katie. I was surprised Katie even talked to her. But they're going back and forth about what she does when she gets home. So Katie is stupid enough to be going back and forth with this lady about talking to her husband on the phone for 3 hours. A lot of you've gone on and on about that. I don't see what the big deal is. She's married to Christopher. Whether I like Katie or not, that's still her husband. What do you expect her to be doing at night while her child is asleep? Talking to her husband. Why would she not be talking to Christopher Proudfoot? They are married. They live together. Or they own a house together. He's away at work. Why would she not be talking to him? What is so strange about that? That Smiley lady went on and on. I just find it strange. Wouldn't you be spending time with your son? So Katie told her, I do spend time with him. As soon as I get off from work, up until he goes to bed. Then I was thinking, yeah, damn, Katie, that's a good answer. Jesus, well. Such a good day for Sebastian and Summer before they disappeared. Red flags. What a coincidence. What do you mean, Melissa? What do you mean by a good day? Thank you, honey. Thank y'all for voting. I'm going to end that poll. 58% believe law officials do have suspects. And who are they? Who are the suspects? Who are the suspects? Is it Katie? Mr. Christopher, yeah. Did they unalive their boy child? Why? Tell us why. Boy, you all be shocked if it was somebody else got that boy missing. Ooh, my goodness. YouTube sure enough blow up. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. Exactly. Summer Wells in this case are similar. For some of you who took my poll and said you don't see the similarities, I've counted at least 13 similarities between the Summer Wells and the Sebastian Rogers case. Both white, both children were seen last with the mother, and the fathers are the ones doing all the talking. Both males are dominant and loudmouth and rude. Both children were out and about where they could have alibis to say they saw the children looking healthy. I'm at 3. Both in the county, 4. Both mothers took a while, 1 week before speaking to the news, 5. Stay woke. Stay very woke. Both mothers acted numb during their interviews, 6. Both mothers stopped talking to the news, 7. Fathers are the only ones keep talking to YouTube, 8. Nobody else in the family wanted to come out and talk and speak, 9. Now, come tell the queen again, there ain't no similarities in this case between Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers. SA has been mentioned in the storyline, 10. Both got a Robin in the picture, 11. Come on with it, queen. different people arguing with each other on YouTube and this and that and searchers. Ding, 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 ding. Am I almost at 13? CPS, 13. And some I mentioned weren't on my original list. So I'm going to say it again. How are there no similarities between Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers? Oh, 14. Mommy can't call 911. Somebody else has to do it. The father. Oh, shit. Come on with it, Queen. I'm almost at 15 similarities. Neck to neck. And you want to sit up here and tell me that ain't even a coincidence? How about 16? Both of them are eerily similar in the same state. Ding, 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 ding. $17. No CCTV footage. Making it home. Bingo card. Shut your mouth. 18. And this is the Queen. I believe both were well planned. To take the children out to be seen. It was a planned disappearance. What's going to be scary is that it's going to fall off like Summer Wells and there won't be any updates because it was planned. It was an intricate plan to get rid of a child that was not wanted nor needed for whatever reason. So if it's planned, people made sure to turn off phones, to use burner phones, to have other people involved as to discard the child. It is what it is. Are the Proudfoot suspects in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? 77% sure, yes. 22% not sure. Well, I'll say it 18. Let's go 18. Both fathers were at their jobs. So you're almost at 20 similarities. I don't have to keep counting. My thing is, once you get to 5 or 6, that's enough. That's enough. Well, we live out in the county and you know you can't get to the local police station and blah, blah, blah. I thought that when I saw that YouTuber's video, a tour of Hendersonville, I said, I thought Hendersonville was some old hick town where you only had one stoplight. They got a nice sized town, 68,000 people. That's not bad. But Katie them don't live inside of Hendersonville. They don't live where there's stoplights and the mall and the Starbucks. They're on the county. So that's why allegedly they had to do all this rerouting to Pookieville and all that old BS to get 911. And how convenient. You're on the edge of nowhere and can't get a fucking 911 operator. Because you knew that too. Katie wouldn't know all that. Oh, well, she's not like Candace then, because Candace stayed on 911 calling because Don was beating her up all the time. So Katie wouldn't know anything about rerouting 911 because she didn't need emergency services. Was the boy physically ill? Did the boy have any physical ailments? That's something nobody talks about on YouTube. Talk about every damn thing else except for relevant shit. Did the boy have any physical problems? Did he have any illnesses? Stomach problems? Any internal malfunctions? When was the last time the child went to the doctor? What was said in the checkups? When was the last time he went to the dentist? Talking about everything else but the state of the child, mentally, physically. What grade level could he read? What's his comprehension? Math, English. Somebody said they talked to some students that said he took regular courses at the high school. Is that true? Will somebody come out and speak on behalf of Sebastian Rogers from the town? School teacher, friend, foe. Somebody, please. We're drowning up here. Help us out. And was this a prank? Because I asked this question last week because nobody talks about that either. Could it be he did talk to somebody on the internet at school and he called them and they lured him out to play a dirty game with an autistic child? Jumped into somebody's car and went joyriding. And he befell an untimely death. And he was discarded. And this was done by school children. Did that occur to any of you? We don't like the Proudfoots, some of us. Are we pointing the fingers at the wrong people? Could it be Seth didn't really care about the kid? The Proudfoots didn't care, but they're not involved. We've got it all wrong. Could it be that boy was out talking to people and nobody knew because nobody cared? And because somebody had said, hey, meet us at the end of the street. We'll pick you up. Let's go joyride. Let's go have some drinks. Let's go smoke a little something. And he wanted friends. Wanted to be liked. Wanted to get more than what the fuck he was getting at the Proudfoots. Get more than what he was probably getting from Seth. Because that's something your mom and daddy can't give you. And that's camaraderie. So that's one option nobody is even thinking about. Because as detectives say, sometimes who you think did it didn't. Who looks guilty ain't. They just got maybe bad behavior. So could we be wrong about the Proudfoots? This boy had been talking to somebody in the neighborhood. Neighbor, schoolmate, school teacher, somebody. And they told him, hey, meet me at the end of the street, 12 o'clock. Don't bring nothing with you. We'll bring you right back. And he did it. Because he doesn't go anywhere. He don't have any friends. He didn't tell anybody. Kept a secret. Slipped out the house and went and met somebody. But little did he know they wanted to play funny games. Could have been a funny game that was deliberate. Take him somewhere, suffocate him, strangle him, dump him in water. He would have floated by now, so I don't think he's in water. See, you don't know people. And children can be very evil. And we have seen this in so many cases of missing children, missing people, and they're looking at the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the cousin, and it's a friend, it's a schoolmate who decided to play a dirty game, a prank on an unwilling participant. But then the flip side would be, they would have found that out already, law enforcement, would they not? Because I don't think he would have been clever enough to erase their names and phone numbers out of his phone. He would have never thought to do that. So they would have already called people he talked to. That's the joy of data. Oh, he's been talking to somebody. Let's go talk to these kids. Pookie, Ray Ray, whoever, Bubba. Hey, you texted Sebastian last night? You told him to meet you at the end of the street? I think we would have found that out by now. But it's a thought. It was a thought. It would be very nice to hear from somebody. Very true. And that's the whole point to that, Pink. Just as quick as you can throw out a possibility, it's debunked because they say we don't have surveillance. So that means he couldn't have met no one. Exactly. No schoolmate, no pedophile, no neighbor, because he never made it home. This is why you talk it out in your head and then you match it to what has been proven. And if law enforcement say we don't have any surveillance of the child, then you can say, well, he didn't walk out, he wasn't lured out. Because either way, he had to come out of the house. And if you don't have surveillance, he didn't come out. So then you got to go back to the last time he left his house, which would have been school and then the weekend. And if he left out with his mother and you don't have surveillance of him returning home, there's your answer. He didn't make it home. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, shit. Say it again, Queen. You don't have surveillance because he never made it home. So you can scratch out human trafficking. He ran off. Because if it was human trafficking, it would have happened on Katie's watch with Katie right there. Why wouldn't you call 911? Hey, somebody just stole my kid. Hey, somebody just knocked me down. Stay woke. Katie. What happened after Steakhouse? Are you going to tell us? Or are you going to keep letting us talk up here on YouTube and make these horrible videos about you and your Bigfoot husband, Teletubby, Build-A-Bear? And then you got the nerve to want to talk to a YouTuber. Why? Run off to Mississippi and your child's missing. Who does that? 1 month. And you have the nerve to run off. And then somebody got the nerve to come on my channel and question me. How long is long enough to move on? Well, I don't know, Wally, but not 1 month. I'm not going to sit here and argue with nobody breathing why it looks suspicious to go camp in a camper 1 month into your child being missing. That's not even worth the breath from my mouth to even explain and respond to a fucking comment. If you've moved on within a month, why wouldn't I think you're the one who got the child gone in the first place? And you are stupid enough to respond and think these people are innocent 1 month in. Excuse me? So this is why people are looking at the Proudfoots. So this is why I said, you don't want to be judged, then keep your mouth closed. Stay off of YouTube and stay off of panels. Because you have given people stuff to gossip about and assume the worst of you too. And Seth is now included in that as well. So don't get mad at the messenger when you are the messenger. That's why it's an old saying, be quiet. Shh. Why don't you sit somewhere and be still and meditate? Because none of you are in a position to speak and talk about Sebastian Rogers. Whether he's your child or not, you are not in a position because you're not doing a good job. You're making matters worse for yourselves. Because in the end, yes, we will talk about somebody else missing, somebody else dead. And you'll be the ones holding the bag pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Not a YouTuber, not a commenter, not a searcher, PI, Tony, dog handler, nobody. You got to carry that burden around. So you all need to start thinking before speaking. You want a broader audience to get the word out about your son? Then try the Today Show. Try Good Morning America. Not TikTok. Not YouTube panels. Go mainstream. You want to give an update on your Facebook page of where you're going to be in New York or LA? Cool. But you can't complain about YouTube and you're feeding the bullshit to YouTube. You can't have it both ways. That's my commentary, everybody. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Please check my community page for updates, polls, movie suggestions, updates to breaking news. Check out the live stream from earlier, 3-part live pertaining to P. Diddy, Sebastian Rogers, and a Jewish couple out of Tennessee who are suing the state and the Methodist Children's Home out of Greenville, Tennessee for biasness in an adoption lawsuit, saying they were denied rights to foster children and adopt from this Methodist Children's Home. Please check out that. It's a very good video. 3-part live. Check out the Queen's short on P. Diddy. I did give him the business, did I not? Cassie husband has put a post up pertaining to this debacle with P. Diddy and the video. Allegedly, he posted that at another time, but now it's public again, and he's talking about abuse against women. It's not right, and anybody that aids an abuser is the same, and I agree. And if you are suffering from domestic abuse, there are people who can help you. And if you are a child being abused, you need to remove yourself and go get help. Call 911. Stop the cycle, sweetie. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ began to 129 Cash App, stickers and chats. Always welcome to the live stream. Thank you all so much for your support. Share this content. I'll be back later, possibly Monday. God forbid nothing else comes up, because I don't want to be talking about this child on a Sunday. Even the Lord says rest, sit down, and that's what he meant. Because this is too much for me. Put the house for the market sale, like we talked about. Yeah, that's the next thing. That's the next thing. And before I go, one more question, and then I'm out of here. Because I think most of you are going to probably say yes to this question. Hold on. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Exactly. Stay woke. Will they sell their home? Last question for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Almost 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all need to go to bed. All right, 4 votes. Let's get them votes up. 48 people in the room watching. Give me 40 votes so I can close out this live stream. Thank you. 55 now watching. Take the poll. You have a good weekend too, sweetie. Thank you. Please take the polls on my community page pertaining to P. Diddy, Sebastian Rogers, the Jewish couple suing the state for biasness in an adoption case. Take the polls. Be counted. Next week, I may bring you content pertaining to homosexuality. We've done live streams before on this topic. Let's go back into the belly of the beast on bathroom issues. Should men be able to go in the bathroom? Transgendered men go in the same restroom with a woman? Yes or no? Should gay people be allowed to adopt children, whether they're single or married? Should gay people be allowed to still be married? Let's chop it up this week. Going back to the old queen. Tired of talking about true crime. too much flack with it. All right. $50 in the house, and I ain't got 9 votes. Come on, you guys. All you gotta do is hit the vote. It's not that hard. Will Katie and Christopher Proudfoot sell their home? Are they making plans to leave the area? Where will they go? Will they camp? Be full-time campers? Live off the grid? Stay in the state of Tennessee? Stay in Mississippi? Cheaper to live in Mississippi. Hell, might even go to Arkansas. I don't know. Then Seth will definitely be up here by himself. And that's something none of you have talked about either. And of course, it has nothing to do with Sebastian, but it does to some degree if the child's alive. Seth doesn't date, doesn't go out. Was he dating and going out before the child went missing? Because those are questions that I try to have people, think about. You would take this boy in. What would dating life be like? Trying to date a woman? You have an autistic child? How would that work? The child's already left the house where people are abusing him. Now imagine Seth gets a girlfriend. She ain't really vibing with Sebastian. Then the cycle starts all over again. What if you wanted to marry her, but she don't want to be taking care of an autistic child? See, these are things that nobody talks about. Only Queen. Because see, he could have easily taken the boy in and things didn't really go as well when he got to Seth. Because Seth is still a man. He still is going to have desires to be with a woman. Unless he goes the other way. So how would that work out? So imagine these people couldn't wait to get rid of their child, but really didn't want Seth to get him. So we knock him off. Or he got the child, but once he got the child, started dating, trying to live, things still weren't that great. So you don't know. Because one, you don't know these people. But the obligation is still there, no matter whoever had Sebastian. Because if the child was not able to go out here and go to school, to a college, trade school, work a job, one or more would be responsible for his care until he left the earth. And that may have been the motive of why the Proudfoots got rid of him, if we'll believe they are responsible. They no longer wanted to be invested in taking care of an autistic kid because they knew he possibly would not be able to take care of himself, and they didn't want to be responsible once he became a man. %69% of you said yes, they'll sell their house. 15% no, 15% not sure. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. You have been listening to The Vault Excel.